Oil spilled by BP has left eyeballs all over the sea. So don't go swimming down in the south unless you want tar balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Swim in the ocean, you'll have balls in your mouth. Go ahead! Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth.
What's up?
What's up?
Boochcast fans, listeners across the internet, radio waves. This is Vinny Bucci, aka the Booch, and this is that time again, once again, yet again for the Boochcast. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, July 29th, 2016. It is high noon, and I have one hell of an interesting show for you guys today because I am joined in the studio right now. He is a huge wrestling fan. Today is his birthday, and he is so full of Irish pride, he almost boiled the chicken we had in the fridge. He is, of course, also as you can tell right here, you might be looking at some familiar hardware on his shoulder. If you're watching on YouTube, he is the new prediction champion. God, it's hard to say that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Zach Scott to the Boochcast.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Zach Scott. I'm making my official debut here on the Boochcast with one of my best friends, good friends, Vinny Bucci. Yes, I am the predicted champion, and this man was Pisser to the Yellow Jacket. So maybe next time I get to hold it on, because officially it's been almost a year and a half since I had this belt. But
Yes.
what some people don't realize is this. I am officially the first ever predicted champion since we've been starting to do this. Am I not?
Yes, we started the whole prediction competition at WrestleMania 31. That's kind of when we started the whole thing.
Yes.
So for the first year that we had the watch party, there was no prediction champion. It was just an idea we threw around. We did the Royal Rumble lottery the first time ever, though. So we did all that. But then in WrestleMania 31, we finally made a decision, let's have ourselves a prediction competition. Because we want to make the watch parties fun. I mean, not that watching wrestling by itself isn't fun, but we want to make it even more fun. And
over the last several years,
go ahead.
it has been more fun because we're at Elvis's house and you and I were like, come on. And everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this was Vinny was going,
Yeah, I was holding on to that championship belt for dear life. I had never wanted Roman Reigns to win a match so badly in my life. Like, I've been a Roman Reigns fan. I am a Roman Reigns fan. Not ashamed to say it. Fuck off. My point is, but the only reason I really desperately wanted to win the match was because I knew if he won the match, I had a shot at keeping the belt. I had a shot. Because if Roman had won, we would have been tied. But the way the contest worked, Zach had a 2 out of 3 chance of holding on to the championship. All he needed was Dean or Seth to win.
So yeah, he's right, everybody. I did have a 2-3 chance.
Yes, because you picked Dean Ambrose, Nat. So if Dean had won, which he did, you got to keep the championship. But if Seth had won, not only would I have been even more angrier than I was for losing the belt, you still would have won because Elvis, even though Elvis picked Seth Rollins, he was so far behind on points, he didn't have a chance. He was so incredibly far behind on points, he just didn't have a shot at it, and basically we had to make do with what we had. And by the way, speaking of Dean Ambrose, I am going to segue into something here that I want to talk about today. Of course, this is Friday. This is our last show of the week before we go to the weekend, and because, of course, like I always say on Fridays, everybody's working for the weekend. I always have to do that on Friday. So I had to make sure I did that before I got into the show. If I didn't, I would have felt like it wouldn't be a Friday if I didn't sing that part. But anyway, I'm going to segue into something very important I want to talk about. My notes on this are not going to be 100% accurate because even though I did watch this on AdultSwim.com, for some reason, the video is not archived. I don't know why. It's very confusing. But, of course, I'm talking about the hit show Daytime Fighting League, which airs on AdultSwim.com and now on Adult Swim Television, which I got to tell you guys right now is still the most surreal thing in the world. By the way, for the YouTube listeners, in case you're wondering what this is, as you know, Zach and I are avid smokers. Here's the thing. And my brother's always told me, Vinny, you can get an ashtray, you can bring it in here. True, but I like this concept a lot better. I have a cup filled with water because when you put the cigarette in there, it's guaranteed to go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about extra little ashes and flames or whatever those little fire things are called. Ashes, embers, whatever the hell.
Smoking, for you young kids out there, it's not a smart thing to start at all. I wish I never have. Him, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about because if Vinny Bucci doesn't have his cigarettes or his soda, he becomes the angry Vinny Bucci, which I have felt the wrath several times.
Yes, mostly because you've instigated it. Yeah, I understand that too. Really? Really? You're going to sit there and deny it. You're going to sit there and deny it. I dare you. I dare you. I want your hand on a fucking Bible. Tell me you never instigated shit.
All right.
Just try to lie.
All right. Ladies and
this is the Boochcast. Don't lie to the host.
All right, everybody, yes. I am 30 years old as of today. And yes, me, our friend Elvis, and our friend Desmond, yes, we're going to go to the Pink Pony and see beautiful naked women.
Yes.
And all those people who say you shouldn't go spend your money on this. Guess what? You can kiss my redheaded ginger ass because I'm going to go see beautiful women, close my eyes, and imagine rocking my world. Is that too much? Hopefully not.
No, it's not too much on the Boochcast. In fact, but here's the thing. If after the strip club, if you are looking for a girl to rock your world, there's a place I can take you to. I know a place. That's all. You don't have to answer that right now. I'm just saying I know a place I can take you to. If you say no, then you say no. It's your call. We'll see how the night goes. But I'm just
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the point I was trying to make was, as you guys know, Daytime Fighting League is aired on Adult Swim, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a twofer with Adult Swim yesterday because on AdultSwim.com, the new episode aired, which was my semifinal match against Hero 121, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And on the TV show, where they're airing reruns weeknights at 4 a.m., was my last match with Meg Has Issues, aired on television at 4 o'clock this morning. And apparently it's 7 too, because someone said they saw me at 7 a.m. on TV. I'm assuming. I don't know. But anyway, the interesting thing was, what's great about it is how surreal that is for me, because I'm looking at because you look at the Adult Swim lineup when you put the Guide channel on, and it's like, imagine this. Imagine if it's like, okay, it's Family Guy, King of the Hill, Aqua Teen, Robot Chicken, and then me. Like, you're on a TV lineup with Robot Chicken, with Aqua Teen, with King of the Hill, with Family Guy, especially Aqua Teen and Robot Chicken, two of the most popular shows in Adult Swim history. one of the two most pop. Aqua Teen, which made one of the biggest impacts on that show. It's amazing. I love Aqua Teen. I think my brother was the one that got me hooked on Aqua Teen. At first, I was confused by it, but once I got used to it, I was like, "This is the funniest thing I've ever seen." Robot Chicken, love Robot Chicken.
Love Robot Chicken.
It's amazing. I think my one of my favorite characters ever is I try to remember who my. There's a lot of characters I like. Bitch Puddin', I think, is my favorite, probably. Just because she's the most obnoxious person on the planet.
Hey, wait a minute.
So
I thought I was the most obnoxious person on the planet.
Bitch Pudding's got you beat.
Really?
I think so.
We'll predict that tonight. I'll start thinking like that.
Now, if you want to, now, like, look, if this is seriously a title you wish to reclaim, we could probably make something. I don't know why, but my point is, so that's a surreal moment for me when like you're watching Aqua Teen, then Robot Chicken, and then the Booch. Like that is like amazing to me. You know, as a huge Adult Swim fan.
Yeah, I mean, watching Robot Chicken the previous years when I was smoking a lot of weed, I was sitting out there just hitting the bowl, and I'd be like, and then people would look like, Zach, this is not even a funny part, but anyways, yes.
I'm so happy because I'm a gummy bear. Gummy bear. Motherfucker.
Anyways, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I get asked. A lot of people where I work with, like, said, "You're going to a strip club." Yes. You don't drink? Why are you going? Because I want to go. Here's the thing about me, and Vinny can vouch for this, guys.
Oh yeah.
Me and alcohol, don't really get along very well.
No.
I am a fully recovered alcoholic, a fully recovered drug addict, and believe me, my mind up here, and he can vouch for this, I've known him a long time, is really fucked up. Am I right?
Yeah, in more ways than one, but
both in a good way
and
in a bad way.
Yes, but here's the thing: while I was watching AdultSwim.com, while the streaming thing was going on, one of the things people said, because they found out how big of a wrestling fan I am through this show, because A, I talk a little bit about it, and B, because of how entertaining I've been on the show. Because I watch so much wrestling, I know how to entertain. You know, I know how to cut promos the way they do. I grew up on wrestling promos. That's why I'm so good at cutting promos and like radio and TV and things like that. That's why I'm great for commercials and shit, because I know how to do that.
I always thought you'd be a commentator one of these days.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I did commentary for a couple indie wrestling shows, and I seem to get good reviews. But the thing was that one guy wrote, "I wonder how Booch feels about Dean Ambrose as champion." So, in case there's any Adult Swim fans from the show tuning in, I would like to answer that fan's question about how I feel. I love the fact that Dean Ambrose is champion. I've been waiting a long time for Dean Ambrose to be champion. I will go as far as to say, and you're welcome to disagree with me if you feel that way, but I think Dean Ambrose is the most talented member of the Shield. I put Dean number one. Like some people think it's
all three of them. Pardon the interruption. All three of them were really good, but I had to think for that for a second there, man. Yes, he's the most talented one, and not to mention he is a fucking lunatic.
Yes,
go ahead.
But the point I'm trying to make is that in terms of in the ring, on the mic, the whole package, Dean Ambrose is it.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, great wrestler, shitty talker. Roman Reigns, decent talker, getting better at the wrestling and everything. The thing I'll say about Roman is this: he's at least improved since the last couple of years. I mean, is he awesome? No, but he's Roman Reigns 2016 is way better than 2015 or 2014.
Oh God, yeah.
That's the point we're trying to make.
God, yeah.
You see a bit of improvement in Roman.
He's getting up there. He's just booed real bad. And
because
The Rock came out when he first came out there, man. He was booed, and people are saying that he's the next Rock. And they're like,
he's not the next Rock.
No,
he's not the next Rock. He's not the next
There's
Rock.
never be another Rock. There'll never be another Stone Cold. And ladies and gentlemen, John Cena is his favorite wrestler, but my favorite wrestler of all time is a legend, The Undertaker.
Whoa. To hold it up.
Oops, did I make a boo-boo?
You made a major boo-boo. See,
who's your favorite wrestler? I never knew this.
Well, here's the thing. John Cena was my favorite wrestler on the current roster, not of all time.
Who's your favorite?
Never of all time. Who was my favorite of all time? That's a tough
Yeah. I
Honestly, I have to say the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Because I love him as a kid.
Yeah.
He's one of the few people I can easily impersonate. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad was like one of those dads that, like, you know, he played wrestle with his kids. Like, he would body slam us, but he wouldn't seriously hurt us. You know, he'd be like, "Rah!" Well, there were times where my dad would be asleep, and I would climb on top of the dresser, and I'd do the flying elbow of the Macho Man and wake my dad up. Sometimes he laughed. Other times he beat the shit out of me, depending on where I landed. Like, if I landed on, like, his arm or something where it didn't hurt as much, he would laugh. If I landed on his stomach, sometimes it would laugh. But if I landed, like, right on his stomach or something, one time I landed and I hit the family jewels, and he slapped me senseless, and I deserved it. My aim was off.
Here's the thing about my dad.
Here's the thing.
No.
Keep in mind, I always sucked at geometry, so I didn't take the angles into effect, and I went too high. So, yeah,
God.
Geometry was never my best subject. I even went to summer school for it. But my point is, that's irrelevant. My point is this. Dean Ambrose, I love this champion. I've been waiting for him to win this title.
Yeah.
I was excited, even though it cost me this, I was excited to see him win at Battlegrounds. I just didn't want Seth to win.
Captain Dick Pick.
Yeah, I didn't want Captain Dick Pick to be the champion. Not at all. I could not. In fact, we'll talk about Raw in a bit, but I just want to say one quick thing, and we're not going to go into a whole detail about Raw. We'll wait till later.
Okay.
But I want to say this. And you guys know this when I recapped Raw. When I heard in the opening segment that they were doing the Fatal 4-Way and the winners of that match would go on to SummerSlam, and that Seth Rollins was getting automatic bye to the Universal Championship, I almost shut the TV off. I wasn't going to watch.
You told me that.
I wasn't going to.
Happy camper.
I was not going to watch the rest of Raw. You, my listeners, my viewers, you're the reason I sat through Monday Night Raw. Now, I ended up enjoying it later. But that segment really aggravated me. For you. I sat through it for you. But I did end up enjoying it later with Sasha winning the women's title and Finn Balor being the guy to face Seth Rollins. You know, I like it.
Irish pride. Yes.
I like it. You like it? But I love it. But
you do?
Yes. But I
just
couldn't. But I couldn't sit through that opening segment. But anyway, now that being said, on SmackDown, Dolph Ziggler won that six-pack challenge.
They're giving people a push. In my opinion, you need to have a push.
Yeah. With the way the roster's split, they don't really have a choice.
God forbid Elvis here's me saying this, but I'd never liked John Cena. But here's the thing about it: do I respect him? Yes, he is a 15-time world champion. He is. Not to mention, you see him doing wonderful stuff with kids who are disability, kids who are sick, and basically on their deathbed. He'll come see him and give him hugs and stuff. As a wrestler, he's improved greatly over last year, especially now. I'm looking like he's not getting that push. And eventually in time, what we talked about last night, yeah, he'll be champion. He eventually will beat Ric Flair.
Yeah. So, and as long as they do it at the right time, I don't think it'll have that much of a negative impact.
No.
With some people, it's going to have a negative impact no matter what.
Even Elvis.
Yeah. But I'm saying that if you do it the right time, it won't mean as much. Like, for example, the last couple times Cena held the championship was one time he took it from The Rock.
Yep.
So that's not a big deal. He took it from a part-timer.
Yep.
Another time, when he was the world champion, he beat Del Rio.
Yep.
It was so he could unify the belts with Randy Orton. So there was an end that justified the mean. Then you had Cena win the belt again when they had that 6-man, 7-way ladder match at Money in the Bank. The only reason that match took place was because Daniel got injured.
Yeah.
Because originally they were going to put Daniel in the ring with Brock, and guess what? Brock was going to take the title. So for any Daniel Bryan yes people out there, if you were living under the delusion that Daniel Bryan was going to go over on Brock Lesnar, you're fucking stupid.
That's stupid.
No.
That's stupid.
So Daniel Bryan was going to lose the belt at SummerSlam regardless. And you're better off letting Cena be the guy because he can take the loss to Lesnar. Those other young guys would have been buried if they had gone after Brock.
Speaking of Brock, was I happy about Brock Lesnar ending the Undertaker streak? No. But like one of the movies that I love, when Agent Smith in The Matrix has said these magical words, like all great things must come to an end.
Yep. And there came a point in time where it needed to happen.
We were at Mazzy's, Vinny.
Yeah.
And we were like that.
State of shock.
I shit you not. That's what happened. And Vinny's like, that? Because Vinny knows, Elvis knows, Desmond knows, everybody knows that I am a die-hard Undertaker fan. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Okay. That being said, now like I said before, now, as I said, I love the fact that Dean is champion, but here's the thing. When Dolph Ziggler won the six-pack challenge, I want Dolph to win at SummerSlam. I want Ziggler to walk out of SummerSlam, to walk out of Brooklyn as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, simply because he is on an impressive streak. I heard the promo we cut at the Draft Center where he practically did a pipe bomb. He went off. He cut an epic promo on SmackDown leading into that six-pack challenge. And not only that, the crowd is completely behind him, and he's proven over the years that he deserves to be a world champion. So in my opinion, because now he's learned how to wrestle without getting a freaking concussion, so now he's world champion ready. Because a lot of people have been saying for years, why aren't they pushing Ziggler? Why aren't they giving him the main event? Because the last time they put the belt on him, he kept getting concussions every other week. Because he was a dumbass in the ring. Now he's learned to wrestle a little smarter. And now that he's learned that, he's now ready to be a champion. So I want to see Dolph win the title from Dean Ambrose.
I'm going with Dean. I got you.
I know you're going with Dean, but I'm just making my point.
I
want to answer that fan's question. How do I feel about Dean as champion? I love it, but I do want to see Ziggler win at SummerSlam. And it's not a hatred on Dean. It's just I feel it's Dolph Ziggler's time. That being said, we will now move on to the Daytime Fighting League. As you guys know, last night the episode aired, and it was me against Hero 121 in the semifinals. And we had what was known as a Sponge Guy bloodbath match. Now,
Sponge Guy blood. What?
Yes, Sponge Guy bloodbath match.
So don't get mad when I say, "Oh, did you guys
I'll explain what happened.
Okay.
Basically, here's how the stipulation worked. They laid some tarp down in the ring so it wouldn't mess up the ring.
Okay.
Then they took a giant container and they filled it with Kool-Aid. Now, the Kool-Aid was from a SpongeBob piñata. And they wanted to do something like epic where they were going to slit the throat of the box and have the blood come out. But it was too strong. So finally they ended up stabbing the head of it. But Josh Wheeler, who was doing the stabbing, didn't do a good job. So Priscilla took the knife and went, pat, 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 and the blood came out. Now, during the filming of this, everyone in the room was uncomfortable at that point. Because we realized, okay, Priscilla's been to prison. It's obvious. You don't do a stabbing motion that fucking good without this bitch just serves some jail time. Like, this is somebody that you don't want to piss off. She's freaking crazy. I love Priscilla Kelly. I met her in person. She's a wonderful human being, but that creeped all of us out at just how good that was. So they're showing the blood dripping out of this SpongeBob SquarePants piñata. And it's dripping into the container. Oh, it is. But it's entertaining. And on one corner, I'm standing there. I got my pants, and I'm wearing a white T-shirt. Hero 121's in the other corner. He's got his pants on, and he's got a white T-shirt. They specifically made us wear the white T-shirts. We didn't choose to. Okay. Because they wanted the Kool-Aid to get all over us, like it was a bloodbath. And they took a sponge, a normal sponge, and they would drop it into the container. And we had to run, grab the sponge, and we each had our own respective containers, and we had to fill them up with Kool-Aid. Whoever filled them up the highest won. So me and Hero 121 essentially beat the shit out of each other to get that sponge. And it was probably one of the most intense fights I've ever had. Like at one point, we're grabbing the sponge and we're like doing a tug of war. And we had to do so many multiple rounds because, of the fact that crazy things happen. Like the first time I'm pulling on it and we're like doing a tug of war. And I pulled so hard, his leg went into the container and the container came apart. Because his leg, and they realized it could have seriously injured his leg. Because his leg was going, like the container was like splitting up, and his leg was going through the container, which could have potentially really seriously hurt him. So they stopped the fight, fixed the container, we go again. Then, like at some point, I'm trying to fill it up, he's trying to fill it up. We're like grappling each other, trying to pull each other away. The disadvantage is Hero 121, if you haven't seen him, he's like 6 foot tall. He's like 6'3", I'm 5'4". He was able to beat me. He won the match. I lost. He had a longer arm reach than I did. So even though I'm like trying to wrestle him and grapple him, he'll at times be like going like this because his arms are so goddamn lanky. Sorry. Because his arms are so goddamn lanky, And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying he's got long freaking arms. So we're doing this whole fight. And then eventually, like I'm trying to fill it up. I took him to Suplex City at one point. Because I grabbed and I just went boom, and I granted I was on my knees when I did it. I wasn't like standing up, but I hit some kind of like German suplex and like threw him over my head. And one guy in the audience actually yelled, "Suplex City, bitch!" It was awesome. So
Suplex City.
Yeah. So and then at one point I like trapped his head, and I was kind of like, and then trying to like block everything, and I'm trying to get the sponge, and we struggled through this fight. Keep in mind, we're also barefoot. So at times, even though we're trying to get up, we're still slipping and sliding all over the place. Hero 121, he was smart. He was trying to absorb all the Kool-Aid so he can like put it in. And at times we accidentally knocked over each other's cups. Like it was a brawl between us.
How long did it last?
Long time. I was getting out of shape at one point. At one point they had to stop the round because my endurance level was kicking in. I was gassing out, but I was still trying to fight. And then eventually,
you were physically doing this, or was it like a game?
Physically, we were in a ring, physically fighting. And in the end, they finally decided to stop the fight. Not because I was out of breath, but just in general, they were doing like a countdown. And then they looked at each other's bowls and they saw Hero 121 had the most filled up. So they gave him the win. And then I took a bow, walked out of the ring, did the whole thank you thing, kind of like when wrestlers retire. They have that, they lose that retirement match, and then it's like they're like, thank you, Rick, thank you, Rick, that kind of thing.
Sean.
Thank you, Sean, that kind of thing. So they were all kind of like, thank you, Booch, and I was kind of like, thank you. And I walked out of the ring, knowing that I had lost the DFL round, and a lot of fans were disappointed. One guy actually said Hero 121 is about to become the heel of Daytime Fighting League.
Is he?
I don't know, but they're calling him the heel because he eliminated the most popular guy on the team, on the show. Because that is the truth. I have become the most popular character on the show. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm not saying this because I'm like boasting. I'm just saying that based on the AdultSwim.com listeners, based on the appearances I made for Adult Swim, based on every bit of, polling that they've done, Adult Swim and the School of Humans, who are the production company that put it all together, they said, Booch, you are our most popular guy. So on Wednesday, when I told you guys I pre-recorded the show because I was off filming for the School of Humans, I can now say that what I was filming was something special for the finale. I didn't talk about this yesterday because I didn't want to give away the ending of this match. But even though I lost to Hero 121, I will still be involved in the finale of Daytime Fighting League. And as I said before, we now have other projects in the works for School of Humans. So they want to keep building on the Booch brand, which is awesome. So so the best part is I've been able to find victory in defeat. I can say, even though I lost the match, I still have a lot of positive things going for me. And I want to say Hero 121 was the better man. And I look forward to seeing him and Blazing Twin 1 face off in the finals of Daytime Fighting League. So next week, August 4th on AdultSwim.com, tune in for the season finale of Daytime Fighting League, where Hero 121 and Blazing Twin 1 will go one-on-one in the ring, and the winner will be crowned the Season 1 DFL Heavyweight Champion. One of these two men will win the crown. And of course, I would be, and of course, after them, and of course, during the match, a lot of other fun things that happened. They were talking about, Hero 121 was doing an interview about talking about how he doesn't believe in speed limits. He said, if I'm on an open road, it should just be open. Part of being free is having the freedom to go as fast as you want. If you're on an open highway, he goes, I understand residential areas, you don't want to hurt nobody. But if I'm on an open road and I'm all by myself, why should I be limited on how fast I can go or something like that? And then I was asked a question, and it got some controversy. They asked me about, now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, at the time that I did this, the racist allegations hadn't come out yet. I want to preface that. But they were asking me during an interview, who do I think God would look like? And I didn't really know what to say. So off the top of my head, I said Hulk Hogan. The racist allegations hadn't come out yet. They had not really surfaced. So I said God kind of looks like Hulk Hogan, and I said that because Hogan always looked like, like a badass when I was a kid. So now, obviously, I'm saying when you're a child and you watch wrestling, you truly believe that Hogan was capable of anything, was a god of wrestling. When he hulked up and did that stuff, you felt like, and people call it no selling, but really what it is it gets the crowd excited. It's like, I feed off your energy, you're revitalizing me. So I don't see that as no selling. I see that as the crowd giving a shit about you. So that's just me. But anyway, and then I said that that I talked about, all the other stuff about religion. And I went into this thing about, because here's the thing about religion is that especially if you're Catholic, there's 3 steps. First, there's the baptism, which you have no say in. Because you're a baby. You don't get a fucking choice. Only 2 people get to decide that fate. It's a discussion between your parents and your grandparents. They ultimately get together and decide whether you are going to be baptized. You get no say in this. It's true. Because when you're a baby,
I'm not Catholic, so I don't know.
Wait. Hold the phone. You're Irish and you're not Catholic?
I was raised with an atheist mother.
Good point. See, I did not know that. I just learned something new on his 30th birthday. I've known this guy for how long? But anyway, okay, good point. That's a valid reason. I disregard that. But anyway, my point is, I didn't have a fucking choice. Then there was communion, where you get the body of Christ and the baptism and all that. And I went to multiple CCD classes, which I fucking hated as a kid. It was terrible. But my parents are not necessarily like overly religious people. They were doing this to appease their parents, because my grandparents in Philly are extremely religious, very religious. They're somewhat less. They've gotten somewhat liberated over the years, but they still have very deep Catholic faith. So, so naturally I got the first communion, the body of Christ, which was fine. I was okay with that. Then they had the confirmation, which I did not do for 2 reasons. One, it's where like you become confirmed in the church and you're like a soldier of God or something like that. Or a true soldier, a true servant of God or something like that. So, and I said, I don't believe in being a soldier of God. I prefer to be the captain of my own ship. Which is true. And I said, I prefer to be captain of my own ship and take vitamins. Because Hogan had the training, the prayers, and the vitamins. Why is the vitamins? So it was kind of funny. But some people on the internet, some people laughed at it. Some people got real raw on me. They're like, well, God blesses Hero 121. That's why Booch is getting his ass kicked or something like that. Somebody said that shit. It was kind of like
Fuck
that.
me running sideways. Holy shit.
Because Hero 121 was very religious. Sure. Well, Hero 121.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hero 121 was very religious, as you guys could see. He was very, very religious. So I guess that's kind of why they kind of saved that clip for this, because it made perfect sense. But ultimately, you know, I do. But the one reason was because I didn't want to be the soldier of God. But number two, man, I believe in God, but not to that, but I didn't want to go to that extent. Number two, they wanted you to do a lot of community service, and I just did Habitat for Humanity, but they said that doesn't count. So my mom and I was like, look, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. I don't. So we stopped it right there. But anyway, and then also afterwards, we had the post-fight interview where Hero 121 was talking about aspartame and soda, and I don't remember all of it, but anyway, like I said, Hero 121 is going to move on to the finals. It'll be him versus Blasian Twin 1, and the winner will become the DFL champion. Like I said, I will be making an appearance in the finale of Daytime Fighting League. So even though I got eliminated, you should still watch to see what I bring to the table. And on that note, I do see we have we got multiple callers on the line here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first call, see what's on the person's mind. And hello, you're on the Boochcast.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Chucky Simo.
Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the star of No Lips, No Teeth Part 3, which comes out Monday on the Movie Internet Channel.yellowsite.com and the Movie Internet Channel YouTube channel. Chucky Seymour is on the line.
Hello, Chucky. My name is Zach. How you doing today, man?
Hello. I'm happy and sad at the same time. You know why? You want to know why I'm happy or sad first?
Sad.
Okay, I'm sad because my favorite person from Daytime Fighting League lost, Vinny the Bucci. Okay? Even though your character bullies me in No Lips, No Teeth, the franchise, in the first one, the second one, and the third one that comes out Monday, I was still fighting for you to win.
Yes, as were a lot of people. There was a lot of people were very, very sad and disappointed to learn that I had lost in Daytime Fighting League, but it's okay. I'm still putting the pieces back together, and I do have a lot of great stuff coming up with the School of Humans production company in the future. So, like I said, even though I lost, there's still I still have a victory.
And the reason why I'm happy is because No Lips, No Teeth Part 3 comes out finally on Monday. And I got to tell you something, okay?
Okay.
You know how my character wanted to suck on a woman's breast in the first one and the second one? When I show you in the bra, I want to suck on your breast, I'm telling you.
Okay. I'll pretend that I understood what you just said, but okay, Chucky, I understand a word you just said.
But okay, like I said, in the first movie and the second movie, I told like the psychologist in the movie, I wanted to suck on a woman's breast. Yes. Well, when I show you in the bra, okay, in one of the episodes, okay, or a few episodes, I wanted to suck your breast.
Okay. I just want you to know I'm very creeped out by that. And
Thank you.
I don't swing that way, Chucky. And you know, even though someone with no lips, no teeth does sound enticing, I'm not into dudes.
That's not what I heard on there.
Oh no, not me either. But you look like a fine girl.
Ginger.
Keep on getting on.
Are you even allowed outside in the daytime? Ladies and gentlemen, we've encountered a daywalker. Now, what you saying, Chucky?
You look good in the bra, okay? I mean, I love girls. I mean, I might get married to Dr. Jalapeno in the third one, okay? But you look good in the bra. I'm telling you. Chucky Seymour tells her how it a bra.
Now that something is complimentary. For the record, I'm not going to do the Boochcast in a bra unless it's unless I get like maybe some crazy fan request one day. But by the way, you don't count as a fan, so don't even try to ask me. But anyway, you're a co-host. You're a special guest co-host. This is different. But my point is, but I do appreciate the compliment nonetheless. That I will accept.
Yes. And one more thing, it was a pleasure to act the late Vincent Buddy Cianci. He's in the movie, he passed away, and he was the longest runaway of Providence, and he's in this movie, and it's a privilege to be with him in the movie, and to have Vinny Bucci in the movie, and Jerry Truman in the movie. Jerry Truman, I'm telling you, I want to see Jerry Truman in the bra, but he looks like a great woman in the movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's Jerry Truman's gonna is in the movie too. And of course he's reprising his role. What's the character's name again?
Sorry?
Yeah, what's Jerry's character's name again?
He plays a woman with, I forget the name of him because my memory is not so good. Teresa.
Yes, Teresa. Now I remember. Yeah, because Jerry plays a female named Teresa in the film. It was great because in No Little Tea Part 2,
Jerry.
Well, as we all know, Jerry is Jerry Truman, who Zach knows well, as do I.
Jerry's a good guy.
Very good guy. And as we all know, Jerry Truman is a former co-host of the Boochcast, one of my best friends in the world. And he is known for being a bisexual who enjoys having sex with transgender
That's
people.
his life.
That's his life, and we respect it completely. In fact, it's because of Jerry that I know so much about the transgender culture. Wasn't for him, I wouldn't have a clue. He likes to, and we have serious discussions about it. He lets me ask questions, which is something that you can't even do in America today. And a lot of times I'll ask him a question, he'll answer it, and I'll go, wow, I never thought of it that way. And then the conversation ends there. But I don't want to get into that. We're not going to get into that. I'm just going a little off topic for a minute. But anyway, so Joe, knowing this, Chucky Seymour, Derek Shapiro, who's directed the movie, decided to come up with the idea. Yeah, he came up with the idea that he decided to have Jerry play a woman. So Jerry got a dress, he got a wig, he got makeup, he got the whole 9 yards. Even shaved his beard, everything, to look like a genuine woman, somewhat. So Jerry comes out, and this is in the second one, where somehow Chucky Seymour shows up at my house, and we're yelling, we're arguing, and Teresa is kind of like my next door neighbor. So even though Teresa has a weird lifestyle, she's my neighbor. So Teresa comes out and she goes, oh, yeah, he's so happy to see Chucky Seymour because she saw her on TV. And I'm like, Teresa, what the hell are you doing at my house? They're like, I want to talk to you. He's like, yeah, go inside. Get the hell away from me, both of you. So, like, Teresa's like my annoying neighbor. I'm not prejudiced towards Teresa. She's just an annoying neighbor. You know what I mean? So that's the premise. So anyway, in the third one, Teresa comes back. Jerry reprised the role, which was funny to film because we filmed it at the Landmark Diner outside the parking lot where the Landmark Diner and the Punchline are. So Jerry's in his car putting this makeup on. Thank God there were no other Atlanta comedians there except for one named Spacey who was filming the show with us. By the way, I will have Spacey on the show sometime next week. We're going to talk more about No There's No Tea Part 3. But, by the way, that second caller, stay on the line. We will get to you when we're done with Chucky. But anyway, my point is, it was a funny thing to see. And then, of course, I got to reprise my role. And this girl, Stacy, was in it who played my new girlfriend. And we had to film a brief scene about that for continuity because in the first movie, I had a girlfriend, but it was played by Melissa Rose. Well, Melissa Rose was not in this movie anymore. And Derek's like, I want you two to be a couple. It's like, well, Derek, I already had a couple, so I already have a girlfriend. So I can't just show up with a completely different girl and have people in the movie go, well, where was the other girl? So we had to film a quick scene where I talked about dumping my ex. just for continuity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
So we filmed that brief scene. Then we filmed another scene. Basically, my guy's a complete dick. You find that out throughout the movie.
I thought that was my role.
In life, yes. In this movie, it was me. So unless you want to do unless you get involved in a Derek Shapiro film, then you can be a dick. But anyway, more on that later. But anyway, so Jerry Truman's back in the movie playing Teresa. He does a fantastic job. There's a huge twist and turn, and that's all I want to say about Jerry being in the movie.
Well, yes, it's going to be great, and I want to thank you, Vinny Bucci. I'm telling you, it is so great to be on your show and not having Derek Shapiro on, you know? Sometimes he can be just a little bit aggravating, okay? And I don't know. But anyway, it's been a pleasure today. Take it easy, and you have a great Boochcast today, okay?
Absolutely. You have a great day, Chucky, and thank you so much for calling in.
Have a good day.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Chucky Seymour, the star of No Lips, No Teeth Part 3, which comes out Monday on the movieinternetchannel.yolosite.com and the Movie Internet Channel YouTube channel. I think we'll play the trailer for the movie a little later on in the show. But to answer your question, Zach, because I knew you kind of mouthing like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
because you were very confused.
I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Basically what happened was Chucky Seymour is a character created by Derek Shapiro. So he was calling in as the character in his movie. And Chucky Seymour has no lips and no teeth and talks like this. And, and he does that. And he came and it's a trilogy. This is the last movie in the series. But he's gonna spin off and he wants to do a Chucky TV series. Like basically, it's kind of like his you remember Jim Varney, the actor? Who created Ernest P. World and all the Ernest goes to the
Yeah.
Well, you know how Ernest P. World took on a life of its own to the point where not only was it a character in a movie,
Ernest Scared Stupid was one of my favorite kid movies.
But you know Jim Varney could show up and say, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ernest P. World. And he would talk as Ernest and not Jim Varney. It was that iconic of a character. And then later on with Paul Rubens, he created Pee Wee Herman. And Pee Wee Herman became so popular that he could come out as Pee Wee Herman and just be Pee Wee Herman. And no one would say, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paul Rubens. It was no. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pee Wee Herman. You know, so Chucky Seymour is kind of that character for Derek Shapiro, where sometimes he'll call in as Chucky Seymour, and we talk to him as if he is Chucky Seymour for continuity. You know what I mean? Just to make it fun. And on that note, I do see we have another caller on the line. So before we get into any other topics today, let's take this call, see what's on this person's mind, and hello, you are on the Boochcast.
Hello.
Hello. Brother Nero.
Elvis!
That's not Elvis, that's Frank.
Oops.
Remember Frank?
Frank, what's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Doing great. I got Zach on the show today.
Oh, my God.
What's that supposed to mean? Really? Oh, my God. Oh, Zach, it's great to hear from you. Haven't heard from you in months. Thanks. I feel so loved. I'm going to go.
Frank, you just made my day. You just made my day.
And you're doing this on my 30th birthday, too. I'm going to go cry acting like an emo kid.
Oh, yeah. The razor blades are in the bathroom. But anyway, you were seriously about to get up. Holy shit. But anyway, what's on your mind, Frank?
I wanted to say something. That match that Randy Orton had with The Miz, I could tell that that Randy Orton's arm was hurting when The Miz was beating it. And the thing about that, when he goes against Brock Lesnar is going to go right for that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I'm assuming his shoulder was 100% heel going into the match. Otherwise, they wouldn't have him wrestle. But I think they're still trying to sell the effects that his shoulder might not be 100%, so that Brock Lesnar has something to work with during the match. It will be intriguing to see, since most of his matches are suplexes, how he's going to handle the shoulder, or what kind of suplex he could do that would put a lot of damage on the shoulder. Absolutely. And I could tell that they're obviously don't want to risk Randy Orton getting hurt before SummerSlam, which is why they let The Miz work on the shoulder and then had Orton just drop him with 2 RKOs.
Yeah, but it's just they could have had couple people they could have had Brock Lesnar against Kevin Owens or Roman Strong. I mean, I can't remember his name.
Braun Strowman, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, they could have had him against him. I mean, I just don't think you come back and sometimes your arm's not going to be totally, and then you get back wrestling and somebody beats on that, you're going to feel something.
True. I think it's just because Orton and Lesnar have never really wrestled each other on the main roster. But the thing people need to remember is Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar are somewhat friends outside the ring because they came up together in OVW. I don't know if people remember that. Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Batista, and John Cena were all in the same OVW developmental class. And they all came up in 2002. Lesnar got called up first. Then I think it was Orton. Then I think it was Cena. And then Batista came later. And they all started off like Orton was pretty much just a random guy. Cena had the random matching boots and tights before he finally did Thugonomics. Lesnar got the massive push with Paul Heyman. And Batista was a deacon for Reverend Devon before he went to Evolution. So, yeah. So, I think because Lesnar and Orton know each other for years, I think Orton can tell Lesnar, hey, don't get too crazy with my shoulder. And Lesnar will respect and abide by that because they know each other for years. So, I think Orton's in good hands. I don't think Lesnar's going to take special liberties with his arm, even with the no enhancement needed comment.
Yeah, well, I still think there was like other wrestlers they could have put Brock Lesnar against until that would have given Randy Orton extra time.
Yeah, and there's plenty, and Lesnar and Lesnar's contract ain't over anytime soon, so there's plenty of guys for him to step in the ring with. So I'm sure down the line we'll see him and Kevin Owens, we'll see him and Braun Strowman at some point. I think. Especially if Lesnar's on Raw, I see eventually he's probably going to be the Universal Champion at some point.
Okay, and I'm curious to see what that belt's going to look like.
We all are.
Yeah, I've been looking it up, and I couldn't find it for anything.
They're hiding it. I think they're gonna reveal it either on the Raw before SummerSlam or they're gonna reveal it at SummerSlam. One of those two, I think, is when we're going to see the Universal title because we're going to have to see it because, either Finn Balor or, God forbid, Seth Rollins is going to hold that belt.
Captain Dick Dick.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, you know what Vinny confessed to me? Vinny confessed his love for Seth Rollins.
You lying sack of crap. I'm about to fire your ass. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Say it. No. I'm all for joking and kidding around, but that's crossing the line, mister.
I had to.
I know. That's a bad ginger. Bad ginger. Obsolete mule.
Zach, I'm kicking you out. You're out of there. I'm kicking you out from far away. You're out of there.
Oh, don't get mad, Frank. I'm sorry. Oh God!
No.
I mean, like,
I just hope it doesn't look like
what?
the WWE. I just hope it doesn't look like the WWE belt that's in SmackDown.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, the women's title looks slightly similar, but that's the WWE Women's Championship, so I understand that. But I definitely think the Universal title needs to look different, and whatever tag titles or women's title they put on SmackDown, because I think they still need to work that out because they got 2 vacant divisions with no belts. They need to look. I think whatever SmackDown tag belt they give needs to be different from the WWE one, and whatever women's title they get needs to be different. And I'll be intrigued to see what they're going to call them. Like, are they going to be like, since they have the Universal Championship, I wonder if on SmackDown we're going to have the Universal Tag Team Championships or the Universal Women's Championship, which will be fine with me, but. I'm going to be just like you guys. I hope it doesn't look like the WWE ones because to me, that's just laziness on their part.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but like the Intercontinental Championship. So it looks like that is on SmackDown, and United States is on Raw. But I hope they put, to beat The Miz, I hope they put John Cena against him.
Yeah, that would be ideal at this point because I don't see anybody else on the roster that's going to take the Intercontinental Championship from him realistically. Maybe Apollo Crews if they want to push him. But I still think Cena would be a great pick because he could do open challenges like he did with the U.S. title. Because I see that smirk on your face. You can't deny the U.S. Open Challenge was one of the highlights of Raw. That's the match everybody looked forward to the most. So as Intercontinental Champion, Cena would do amazing.
Well, because for the United States Championship, nobody would do that. They would get the belt, hold the belt, hold the belt, hold the belt, hold the belt, and they wouldn't do an open challenge.
Exactly.
I don't see Rusev doing any open challenges.
Nope. He's not doing anything except holding it. And all he's doing is dominating. That's all he's doing. He's beating people up. He's putting them in accolades and making them tap. That's how they feel like it's like they're trying to build Rusev back up again. They did it at the expense of Zack Ryder. I don't know what the hell is going to be the plan going forward. I don't know who's going to face him. The only person I see facing Rusev is maybe Darren Young and becoming U.S. champion since he couldn't win the Intercontinental.
What about Braun Strowman?
Up random jobbers every week and try to establish him as a monster on his own without the Wyatts. And once they figure out what kind of gimmick they want Braun Strowman to really have, then maybe they'll have him go for a title. But I don't think Braun Strowman's going to be a champion anytime soon. I think it's going to make him a devastating monster in the meantime. They're going to build him back up.
Well, what about Kevin Owens?
He could be U.S. champion.
I would love that.
I guess I would like to see that. I know that Kevin Owens had a chance. I know the last time he had a shot at the U.S. title was against John Cena. So I think Kevin Owens could do a good job. Hopefully he'll treat the U.S. title with more respect than he did when he first came on Raw.
I saw him stop on the U.S. title, and I was like, you motherfucker, asshole. But generally speaking, speaking of Kevin Owns, is he good in the ring? Yes. Is he good on the mic? Me? Yes. Is he a dick? Yes.
I just felt that, I didn't like the stomping on the U.S. title.
I didn't either.
It's like, it would be to me, it's like you might as well stomp on the flag. It's the same thing. And the fact that the guy's friend and the fact that he's Canadian made it even more irritating for me. I don't know why, but it did. Just something about him being, and I know maybe that's the reaction they wanted me to have, but I didn't see it as heel heat. I saw it as fuck you heat, which is different.
No, you were talking about something yesterday, and I was on the phone, but you were recapping everything. You said something that there's a wrestling thing that they have no heels and no baby faces on it.
Yes.
Which one were you talking about?
The WWE Cruiserweight Classic, which is a tournament that airs on the WWE Network. And what it's doing is it's a single elimination tournament, and it's showcasing cruiserweights from all over the world. Some of them are in WWE developmental. Some of them aren't, but are still in this tournament because like they went internationally and found people from all over the world, Mexico, Japan, Iran, India, everywhere, and brought them all together, some of the United States as well, and brought them all together to create this cruiserweight tournament. And I noticed that there's no heels, no babies, no angles. It's just wrestling. They come out, they shake hands. Some of them do. The bell rings, and they go. Now, of course, the matches are choreographed and booked. They know who's going to win, who's going to lose. To the end of the day, it is wrestling. And that's one constant that takes place in every wrestling promotion. No matter how edgy they may be, no matter how much reality they bring in, no matter how much you try to say we're nothing like the WWE, at the end of the day, your formula is the same. Two people in the ring working together to build a match. They know who's going to win. They know who's going to lose. That is a constant in any wrestling promotion. So they still have that aspect. But no one in there's doing heel-like tactics. No one's distracting the referee. It's just a match. So it's a match with no storylines. It's just single elimination tournament. And I found it intriguing. And Elvis was telling me for weeks about it. He even came on a little bit and talked about it when he called in. But at the time, the first couple episodes I didn't do because I still had Lucha Underground to deal with. So I thought, let me finish Lucha Underground because last week was the final final episode, and for the season 2 until season 3, which is coming out in September. And then after I finish that, I'll talk about the Cruiserweight Classic. So that was why I'm sorry I didn't take your call. I had way too much shit to talk about in a short amount of time. Like today I have an open schedule, which is why I was able to take your call. But I had to do 4 episodes of the Cruiserweight Classic in one show. So I didn't have time to take calls. So I am sorry about that.
Well, no, I was going to text the woman that said, oh, there's no show recorded for the next 24 hours. I'll fix you. I'll sit on this phone for the next 24 hours. But, yeah, she was just like, there's nothing recorded for the next 24 hours. And then the day before, it just got on there and said, at the end, it just said, goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. I was like, what the hell? I was in the middle talking to Vinny.
Yeah, something technical happened and it got cut off. Apparently, I don't know what happened. I think there was a volume issue with my headphones, my old headphones, and they're not the ones I'm wearing right now for the people on YouTube. And I was trying to turn the volume up, but apparently if the volume's turned all the way up, because I was just clicking the button really fast, if you click it again, it hangs up the phone, which I didn't know, and it just hung it up. And by the time it hung up, I was past the point where I couldn't call back in again. So that's what happened. So, which is why I ended up, what I did was I saved the call that we had, the conversation, but then after I saved that call, I deleted the whole episode and I redid it at 3:00 and put out a brand new episode, I put out like the same content, but like a different episode, just because I was not happy with how the show turned out overall on Tuesday. It had nothing to do with you. It had to do with everything before you.
Well, it sounds like today when I first got on the phone, it sounded like you said you were going to come out of SummerSlam as the World Heavyweight Championship. I was like, oh, Vinny's in the match? I was like, oh my God.
No, I meant the prediction belt. I meant the prediction belt. Like my goal at SummerSlam is to take this belt that's currently sitting on Zach's shoulder, if you're watching on YouTube, because he took the belt from me at Battleground, and he's excited because it's the first time since WrestleMania 31 that he's actually held this belt. So my goal at SummerSlam is to win this belt back.
It ain't gonna happen.
No, fuck it won't. I will get that belt one way or
no
another.
cheating either.
I don't cheat. I'm smart.
Sure about that?
Positive. I'm a 6-time champion. Clearly, I have prediction skills.
Good for you. You feel better about yourself?
I feel very better about myself. Thank you. Yeah, I need a little self-esteem builder. I just lost a Sponge Guy bloodbath match, and I don't get to go to the finals of Daytime Fighting League.
And
so
you lost to me.
Do you just want me to commit suicide? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? You know what? Here, I'll tell you what. Give me the cyanide. I'll drink it right now, you God.
Don't do that. I'll make you booty. I'm like,
never do that again.
No, I'm just messing with you, man.
I know. I'm kidding with you.
I won't get to see the belt until we find a place to see it at.
Yeah. Frank's been talking about this for a while. Like we said, Zach told me Elvis is in the process of is starting to look for one.
Yes.
We're hoping to have one by SummerSlam. We're hoping.
Fingers crossed.
But that's not a guarantee.
Yeah. He's working on known as Elvis as all three of us do. Elvis, he can come up with some like I offered to. He says, "No, let me do my thing. I was like, "All right, go for it."
Yeah,
that'd be fucking awesome. And
so
you know what? I'm gonna like, yes, come in here, go to Elvis' apartment. Yeah, that's fun. But the guarantee, the bottom line is watching with all of us, especially the original Hooters crowd.
Exactly.
And yes, Frank, you are part of that Hooters crowd. Getting together, making our predictions, seeing Elvis get drunk, losing or winning over Vinny, and acting like a fool, which is very highly entertaining to me.
Yes.
To me. And yes, I do.
And the fact that you can still be a hilariously funny dick without the alcohol is even better.
I'm drinking water right now.
Well, if we don't find one by SummerSlam, hopefully by the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely by then. Not SummerSlam, definitely by then.
Because I know in September we got Backlash for SmackDown, and I think Raw's going to have Night of Champions, I guess, or are they just going to do away with Night of Champions?
We'll look it up later.
Because I don't know what they're doing with Raw. But September's supposed to start the exclusive pay-per-views for each show. Because that's the thing. Because with the exception of SummerSlam, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series, SmackDown and Raw are going to start dividing the pay-per-views and having their own separate ones every month. So there'll be 2 pay-per-views a month instead of 1. How that will affect the watch party, I don't know, but it'll be intriguing. And but of course the big 4, all the shows will share that. And I think after WrestleMania and after SummerSlam, they're going to have super shows where all the stars will be on both shows.
After WrestleMania, you guys best have a place by WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's assuming I'm even in town for WrestleMania. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to Orlando.
Well, but that doesn't matter because then we'll still have Elvis.
That's a good point.
I mean, we've seen it without you, but just as long as he finds a place.
I love the way he's saying that. I don't know if I should be hurt by that or not. But yeah, Clash of Champions. Oh, snap. Okay, we figured it out. The Raw pay-per-view is going to be Clash of the Champions. This is an old WCW NWA show.
Really?
Yes. Dusty Rhodes created this. Oh yeah, because I
remember that.
Clash of the Champions. And the thing, it's an old WCW show. So
I remember that.
Yeah, and the thing is, because a lot of people were spreading rumors on the internet about Cody Rhodes coming back to WWE because he signed a deal with WWE. But apparently it was a Legends contract, but it wasn't a Legends contract that says he can't work other venues. It was basically a deal they worked out with him so they could have permission to use Clash of the Champions and maybe Starrcade and other ideas that Dusty came up with for the WWE. They wanted Cody's permission. And Cody, even though Cody was unhappy with WWE, he still agreed to it because he's like, look, it's still my father's legacy and I'm not petty. So you guys can have the rights to do that, but I'm still going to do what I do. Because we all know in December, Cody Rhodes is going to Ring of Honor for Final Battle. And he may or may not become a full-time member of Ring of Honor. We don't know. We just know that he has that date set, December 2nd for Battleground. Not Battleground, for Final Battle, which is the biggest pay-per-view event for Ring of Honor, is Final Battle. So Cody Rhodes will be there. But yeah, so Clash of Champions is going to be the Raw pay-per-view. Awesome.
Aaron does amazing things.
That will be awesome. It's just curious, because then that means instead of one of the 4 majors, that means you're going to have, 2 pay-per-views a month?
Yeah. 1 for Raw, 1 for SmackDown, except on the months where the big 4 take place.
Interesting. I'm curious to see how it works out.
I do too. Although I will say this, with the way that they've been presenting the shows and with the way they've been after the first episodes of the new era, I have high hopes because the rosters are separate, so we'll have interesting matches. I like the fact that they're, doing the separate pay-per-views because that way it can truly, it can allow them to have, more stars chance to shine. Because you put everybody on one pay-per-view, you're not going to be able to use all your storylines unless you make every show like 4 hours, which you can't do. Like SummerSlam makes sense. WrestleMania makes sense because SummerSlam is going to be 4 hours long. But you can't. But you won't be able to fully conclude your rivalries if you put both stars on a show the way they're being booked. So it makes sense to put them on separate pay-per-views, but then have the big four have everybody on it because they're the big four. They're the money-making pay-per-views for WWE. Survivor Series, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble. And Royal Rumble makes sense, and I think they're going to probably do – I'm sorry?
Well, I remember once upon a time they did Royal Rumble, but I remember The Undertaker won it, and then he got to choose which championship he was going to go for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they started that in 2004 when Benoit won, and they let him choose. And then after that, they let the champion choose whoever he wanted after that. So that's going to be like – there's going to be 15 Raw and 15 SmackDown. That's how they're going to do this. Because that's how the Royal Rumble was done during the first brand split. So you'll see 15 guys from Raw, 15 guys from SmackDown. That'll equal out to 30. And, yeah, they might let them choose which championship they want to go for. And it'll be a great way to either continue a rivalry on SmackDown if you're a SmackDown winner or go to Raw and totally switch things up. Because at some point, they're going to want to swap the superstars between the brands if it gets stale, if things get a little too stale. So they're going to probably do that. But I think that Cena and Roman are not going to switch unless if Cena switches over to Raw, then Roman might go to SmackDown or something like that. But I think they did this for a reason to put Cena on SmackDown, and I don't see him going back to Raw anytime soon.
Because the first time they did the brand split, it got raw. I mean, it got boring.
Yeah.
Because they were concentrating on one, which is their baby, Raw, and they left SmackDown in the wind.
Yeah. And a lot of people feel like they're doing that now, which I disagree, but some people feel like Raw is getting the better end of this deal.
And yeah, I mean, but I just hope I hope they need to take care of both of them this time around. They need to take care of SmackDown just as much as they take care of Raw.
Absolutely. And from what I saw this week, they seem to be doing that. Of course, time's gonna tell if they truly do that. But if they keep doing what they're doing with these first 2 episodes, I think the WWE is going to be in good hands. I think we're going to reach a point in this new era where if you're still bitching about the WWE, there's something mentally wrong with you, not the rest of the world.
Exactly. Because so far, what they've done has been awesome on both shows. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
it's great.
Because before, nobody was watching SmackDown. They'd be like, oh, SmackDown, what's the big deal? I mean, but now the things that they have, they're doing it, but I want to see if they can keep on doing it. After a week of just doing, oh, this is good. Well, can you keep doing that 6 months from now?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, it's just, and I want them to keep doing it. But the one thing that I saw last night, Matt Hardy call out Brother Nero, and then him go against EC3.
Yes, that's what happened on TNA Wrestling. Matt Hardy summoned Brother Nero to the ring. And then EC3 came out and they did the whole obsolete mule, which I think is the funniest damn thing I've heard. I love the broken Matt Hardy. I love it. I don't care what anybody says. It's the funniest thing on TV. He finds ways to make this better, whether it's the goofy things he says, the dilapidated boat, the drone Vanguard 1, and the calling Jeff Hardy an obsolete mule. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I really did. I think Matt Hardy should be champion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they don't give him the chance because he got beat by EC3. Okay, well, you're not really giving him a chance to become champion.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this though. I mean, the match itself was great. They had Matt Hardy, you know, pretty much like EC3 was doing a lot of the EC3 hit a lot of great moves in the match. Matt Hardy, of course, was like constantly biting EC3, like biting his fingers, biting his ankles, truly showing that he is mentally unstable, which is great. He's playing the gimmick character so well. And then, of course, and then, of course, there's the incident with the hammer where Jeff slides into the middle of the ring. Matt Hardy picks it up, but the referee catches and takes it away. EC3 hits Matt with his boot behind the referee's back, hits the 1%er, gets the pinfall, and EC3 is advancing, which I knew was going to happen because they're obsessed with, putting EC3 into a match. They were obsessed with putting the title on EC3, or obsessed with having, I think, EC3 and Drew Galloway fighting in the finals because they tell one hell of a story in the ring. So I think that that's what they're, obsessing about, even though personally I would have preferred Broken Matt Hardy.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and Frank, I don't really watch TNA that much because I grew out of it, but I'm going to start. But what I see with Matt Hardy, he can relate to one thing in the WWE: Bray fucking Wyatt. His character, what he's doing, is amazing. It scares the shit out of me because I always predict him. Me coming home from work or outside smoking a cigarette or something else, and he be in my room looking at me with his weird hair, going like goo. But with Jeff Hardy basically being his gopher guy, it's kind of insulting to his character. But eventually, everybody, Jeff Hardy will break out of that character and go back to the way Jeff Hardy has always been, kicking ass and taking names, in my opinion. I love the Hardy Boys. What they're doing with this story is fantastic. It's kind of creepy, but it's the wrestling world. Way creepy about it. Your thoughts, Frank?
As far as the Hardys, I love the Hardys. I mean, but I think what they need to do is once Jeff breaks out of it, I think the Hardys deserve some type of championship. I would love, now this is hypothetical, I'd love to see the Hardys as tag team champions.
Yes. Once again, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
I mean, even though they're so different because the character Broken Down Hardy, Matt Hardy, and then Brother Nero, which is Jeff Hardy, but I think they would be perfect tag team champions because that's what they were on WWE, and I think they're good. I think they would be a really, really good tag team championship material because then that means then they can work together, but they would both have gold around their waist.
Yes. Eventually, the Hardy Boys will be back to normal, hopefully sometime soon. But as the storyline goes, it's one of the best ones I've seen TNA in a long time. It really does. Booch, your thoughts?
I gave my thoughts earlier, but I will say, no doubt, I love the feud that's going on with the Hardys.
Yeah, I mean,
I think here's the thing about it, and this is why, like I've always said, people complain about the gimmicks and everything and the craziness that they've been going through. This is something that people need to understand about the Hardys. From between their time in WWE and even the brief time not brief time, but the time they've spent in TNA. At this point, we have seen everything that the Hardys could possibly give us.
Yes. Yep.
In terms of extreme, we've seen them dive off ladders. We've seen them dive off the cage. We've seen them go through tables. We've seen them put people through tables. We have seen everything. If you watch an extreme match between the Hardys,
especially the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian,
you're desensitized to it at this point because we've seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember one time when we had Jeff Hardy on the regular guys, I asked him, what would you consider the most extreme moment of your career? He had to seriously think about it, but he gave me an answer. He said, at WrestleMania, when he was dangling and hanging from the belts and Edge speared him.
Ooh.
That was the most extreme moment of his career. Now, and when they had the feud, you saw them do everything. Full Metal Mayhem, I Quit match, 6 Sides of Steel. They did an I Quit match at a WrestleMania one year. What else could they have really given us if it was just the Hardys? Instead, what did they do? They reinvented Matt Hardy. They repackaged him as the Broken Matt, had this insane gimmick, and it's gone viral on the internet. When he did the whole, where Jeff came to the house and Matt's like, this must end where it all began. And then of course they had all the storylines and everything, and the match at their home in Cameron, North Carolina. Like, that is something there was something the Hardys had done that never been done before. They brought out fireworks. They had freaking Jeff Hardy did a swanton bomb off a tree. Like, shit we've never seen. And it was original. And then Jeff Hardy shooting fireworks at him. Matt Hardy going, it's a dilapidated boat, and hiding behind the boat. And now everyone has signs saying dilapidated boats.
Dilapidated boat.
That Matt Hardy now calls Scars God for no freaking reason. Scars God, may I indulge in your usefulness.
He was rubbing it. It's like, I should call you
Scars God, may I indulge in your usefulness to bury the remains of Brother Nero. And Brother Nero works because that's Jeff Hardy's middle name is Nero. Yep. That's why it works. And not only that, he's done the whole, now he's got the whole random shit. He now calls Jeff an obsolete mule, and that's starting to trend. And the Hardys had no choice but to reinvent themselves to stay relevant. And they did it. They did it.
They nailed it.
Now, eventually the day will come when they will reunite, and they'll be the Hardys again when its time is right to bring back the nostalgia. But in the meantime, Matt just repackaged himself and added more years to a career that was otherwise going to bore everyone to death.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I think if TNA didn't do it, TNA would be crap. Nobody would want to watch TNA.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, TNA was crap on Destination America. They came back to Pop TV and reinvented themselves. I've enjoyed them since they come on Pop TV. What I didn't like was what they were doing on Destination America and the way they were being treated.
Yeah, and I just think since they did all this with the Hardys, I just think it boosted up TNA because they can't wait to see what's going to happen next with Brother Nero and Broken Down Matt.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he wants to punish Brother Nero because Jeff kind of didn't help Matt win the match. So we'll see how that's going to work.
Yeah, because he was supposed to, and he threw the hammer in the middle of the ring, but yeah, and then EC3 did him with a boot. So that was, now I'm curious to see which way they're going to go with that. I mean, how is it going to be? Is there going to be a match between them, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. But one thing is certain, the Hardys, like I said, they've reinvented themselves, and they've added more years to their career in terms of being relevant. And
yeah, it's gonna. I just love it.
I do too. It was definitely a hell of a showing from the Hardys.
Okay, so Vinny's broken down Matt Hardy and Zach is brother Nero.
I guess in a way, because seeing as how I'm the one that has to pick up Zach, drive him around, and everything, he is kind of like an obsolete mule. So I would go with him as brother Nero.
Excuse me for 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I want to cover this up.
I fade away and classify myself as obsolete. Obsolete mule. How dare you slap my appendages?
Nut punch!
Oh! My reproductive box is broken. I need ice. My reproductive box is broken. I need ice. Vanguard 1, fetch my ice pack.
No, speaking of Vinny always picking me up and everything else, what's the one thing I always offer for you?
He always offers gas money, which is the reason I still do it, to be honest. That is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that makes me sound like a dick, but that's the reason.
Okay, I'll give you some gas money. I mean, like, anybody who gives me a ride home for, you want gas money pack service, please. I was like, all right, let's go to the gas station. I got to go to the gas station. And like today, I'm probably going to end up like at this and that and that. I'm going to end up hooking you up with at least $20, $25.
All right.
Gas.
I'm in.
You make sure, what's the one thing you owe it to? You make sure I'm sober, and you make sure I get home.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Frank, if you can come out tonight, that'd be awesome.
You're not going to let Brother Nero walk home tonight?
you expect me to walk in 95-degree Georgia July weather with my redheaded ass with no sunscreen, wearing shorts? Let's think here for a second. No.
Nah, he would get barbecued.
I would get fucking fried.
Right, man. Why don't you calm down, Nathan?
Yeah, I want to hear it. You probably burn it as bad as I do.
Fried ginger on the blacktop. Order up,
you assholes. Bite me. Yes, I am a ginger, and I am proud to be a ginger. I come from a family of ginger. It's called Irish and Scottish pride, asshole. So fuck off.
For those of you that have never seen a ginger snap, here it is.
Well, that's all right. When Zach has a baby, it's going to be invisible.
Oh! Wow! Diss of the day goes to Frank. Goes to Frank.
Hey, honey, where's the kid? Oh, I dropped him. I don't know. Guy's invisible.
Frank, I'm gonna go cry.
I love this. I love Frank right now.
Cry.
I love that guy. Oh, it was wonderful. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
How do you hear what he said?
Because all you'll see is the diaper.
You'll see is the diaper.
Frank, go to hell.
Been there, done that.
I have too. Believe me, I've been through hell.
Oh, this is so much fun. Oh, this is so much fun. I'm sorry, that was funny. Come on.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said that if you had a baby, the baby would be invisible.
Whoa!
He said that was brilliant. That was friggin'. See, now you're laughing. That was brilliant. That was pretty.
That was insulting me, and I'm laughing. That means I have a great sense of humor. Because I know he doesn't mean it in any sort of way, but oh well.
But dude, you gotta admit that was pretty fucking funny.
That was harsh.
That was pretty fucking funny. That was pretty fucking funny.
Damn. Oh my God.
The only way you'll know where the baby is is because there'll be a diaper on the baby, but just a diaper floating around.
You'll just see the diaper. You
won't
won't
be
see
able
the
to tell.
kid.
You know where the kid is, Ben.
I'm not that. Well, no.
Let's not go. Let's not say things we can't take. I am, because that's brilliant. I wish I thought of it. Like I've been throwing insults at you like for the last 3 days, and he says one that trumps them all. I can top them all. That's the best one.
Oh God. Great.
So, Vinny, did you watch NXT?
Yes, I did watch NXT. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to recap it yesterday because between the Cruiserweight Classic and my throwback Wonder Years thing that I do every Thursday, I didn't have time to get to NXT. I was going to get to it either today or Monday.
Because I'm curious, I'm just, because the thing that's driving me crazy is they keep on taking all the stars and put them on Raw. So like we've talked before, you keep on doing that, there's not going to be anything left in NXT. And so if you take too much out of NXT, there's going to be nothing.
Yes, and I think we did. I think NXT did show us a little bit of an indication of that, as the opening match was Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura, and he fought Wesley Blake. So that should tell you how low on that should tell you the lack of rosters that we have is the fact that Nakamura and Wesley Blake was the opening of Raw. Of course, Nakamura did get the win with the Kinshasa, but apparently it was supposed to tell the story of the fact that Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy are still somewhat broken up as a team. But now they're trying to one-up each other by saying, I'm going to win my match, or I'm going to win my match. So Wesley Blake wants to prove he's better than Buddy Murphy by getting a victory over Shinsuke Nakamura, which he does not do.
Yeah, but the thing that just drove me crazy is when they did the draft, they just pulled, 6 people might not sound like a lot, but 6 people from NXT, that's where you guys get all your new talent. So let's just pull 6 people out. Well, what's left then? You got Samoa Joe. Well, how long before they pull him out?
That's a very good question.
How long? What's going to happen? You're going to pull out everybody, and then NXT is going to be, oh, well, we have no more stars for you. We have to rebuild. Thanks, you took everybody from us.
Well, they seem to be doing somewhat of a job with that because, of course, after Nakamura won the match, William Regal came out and announced that on Saturday, August the 20th, at the second annual NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, it will be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. So Nakamura is getting the title shot. And then, of course, in terms of the women, they had Billie Kay and Santana Garrett come out. And for the first time ever, they came out with actual music, actual, costume ring attire, and actual gimmicks. Like Billie Kay came out as a seductress dressed in like blue and had like a black cape and stuff. Santana Garrett had like rainbow colored stuff. Don't know what that means. Could be just colorful stuff. Fuck you. No, I would not wear that stuff. But anyway, I'm not saying necessarily that she has a lesbian gimmick. I'm just saying they were multicolored tights. They could just be anything.
Like I said, multicolored tights, something out of Vinny's alley there, guys.
Yeah, multicolored tights. Yeah, I would if I was wrestling. Yeah.
You sure?
Positive.
Positive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
How much money are you gonna pay me?
Goddamn darn.
Oh, then I ain't fucking wearing it then. You want me? You
want
to wear
$1 million to do something stupid on TV? You would do it. Frank would do it. I sure as hell would do it because I would love $1 million.
Hey, I got paid $200 to wear a bra, to wear a bra, butterfly wings, and wrestle in Kool-Aid. So clearly, you pay me money, I'll do something.
But here's the thing about the regular guys: you dress up like a baby for free.
No, I got $200 and ringside seat tickets to a live WWE event.
Oh, I'm gonna shut the hell up then.
Yeah, so and they didn't have to do that, but they offered to do that because I did such a hell of a job at the pregnant bikini pageant because they saw that they realized that even though I was a good sport about it, they realized, wow, we put him through a lot of shit yesterday.
Regular guys put you through hell. Not shit. They put you through hell. And I'm down for doing some crazy shit, but what they put you through, I'm sorry, my sense of pride is like,
Well, here's the thing. I don't regret any of it because it gave me the confidence. Put those hands away. Because that gave me the confidence to do Daytime Fighting League. Because they asked me, were you comfortable wearing a bra? It's like I dressed up like a baby for a radio skit. I'm pretty sure I can handle a bra. Like, that was the best part about it, was I had the confidence in which to do stuff like that. And what makes people want to work with you is if you're open to do anything. It's like, we have a crazy idea. Who's going to be nuts enough to do it? Vinny. And the School of Humans, they had me do fun stuff. They had me do all other things, and they paid me. And that's the thing. As long as you're willing to pay me like fair amount of money, I'll do what you want me to do. With the regular guys, I didn't really beg or complain about money that much because back then, when the regular guys asked me to join their show, I was a complete nobody. I was just a guy doing stand-up who had just got out of college and I had no idea what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to be a stand-up comic. And then I met the regular guys and they put me on the map. So I had no leverage to bargain with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had nothing to bargain with. They were doing me a favor putting me on their show. Now, of course, years down the road, I did help generate ratings for the show. I did become a legit star off of the show, but that was years down the line, not my first time in. See, nowadays, if I was to work with someone in radio again, whether it would be teaming up with Larry or somebody else for that matter, now I have leverage. Now I have a bargaining chip because I become a star on Adult Swim. So now I got something to bargain with. I'm not just some random comic anymore. I've got TV credit. I got a TV credit to my name. And I got an Adult Swim, not contract, but I did 3 different Adult Swim shows. One, I was a legit cast member in. Other 2, I made guest appearances. And I got another project in the works that I can't talk about right now, but when I can, I'll divulge it. So, I've got
the secret is, ladies
I've got something to bargain with.
He's gonna start dancing at Swinging Richards.
You wish.
But
See, Zach,
you know what, Vinny?
I don't want to steal your job, man. I don't take jobs from people. You know what I mean? Like, because if I dance, they're gonna fire you.
Hold on. If I was the big fit guy like John Cena's Roman Reigns, and they paid me a lot of money to go dancing in front of old ladies, let's take care of shit. You would do it. I would do it. And God forbid I just sent that on National Live YouTube.
Yes, you did.
Oops.
Yes, you did.
I would. I
Yes,
don't
you
care.
did.
I
You would.
don't swing that way, but I would.
Hey,
For money to get paired with what the fuck I do now?
there's some porn stars I've actually heard about, like male porn stars, that have admitted in interviews that they're gay for pay. And what that means is that they don't necessarily enjoy having sex with men,
But they get paid a lot more money.
but they're willing to do gay porn from time to time because if you do a gay porn, you get paid more money than the straight porn people. Because gay men buy more porn than straight men, if that was even possible. Like, they do. It's a money-making thing. They generate dollars.
I'll never seek that. No.
Now, I would never do that. Neither would you.
I like women.
I do too. But I'm saying there are some porn stars who, not a whole lot, but they'll do a couple of gay porns to make the money. And they said, and here's the thing they say. And they say this. Are you nervous about someone finding out? It's like, no. It's like, who's gonna tell? If you did a gay porn, who would tell? Well, that would be like imagine, Zach, if you did a gay porn hypothetically, and I would have said, dude, I can't believe you just did a gay porn. That means I watched it. So why would I tell you that I saw you? Because that implied I watched the gay porn.
Did you watch it? You'd be like,
yeah. And who's gayer? You watch and say, hey, at least when I did it, I got some money in my pocket. You're watching it. You paid money to watch a gay porn. I got paid to do one. So who's gayer is my question. The guy who's getting paid for it or the guy who's paying to see it? Who bought the DVD? I asked you.
Hey, I know exactly what I'll call it too.
What?
The big red-headed dicks.
Listen here, Invisible. I mean,
Invisible porn.
Oh my God! How did this come?
Vinny.
My fucking.
I don't know. I don't know. Right now, the audience is going, "What the fuck is going on right now?" They don't know. I've gone on random tangents before on this show, but never to this level. Only with you do I do shit like this.
Vinny,
Like that.
Vinny, you know what's
Another.
backing-
Hold on. Frank wants to say something.
You know what's backing you up? You have all these shows and everything, but in the background you have the orange box
Yeah,
that's backing you up,
exactly. That too.
which drives me crazy because you get paid and you work and they expect you to come back and it's much bullshit.
Hey, man, it's
It is.
such is life. Such is life. But who knows?
Bitch.
Maybe Adult Swim will sign me to a contract. I'll get paid on a consistent basis, and I won't need the orange box anymore. But we'll see what happens.
This is actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I love doing this.
Well, like I said, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, and germs and douche. This is officially my first debut on a Boochcast. And Vinny, going a little off topic, off random here, but you said okay, and I've been behaving myself, have I not?
Yes, you have.
You told me the rules, and I'm being very respectful. I'm just sitting here talking to you. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm all actually on somewhat of a live TV show. And it's awesome. I'm just sitting here listening to you talk, and unfortunately, Frank will think it's trying to assault me, you punk.
I love it. I love it.
And we go for topics from talk about Dean Ambrose, blah, 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 smack and snack, me mentioning that you're like a job of you going to being a shipper, at Sweet Richards, and all of a sudden you start the conversation about gay porn. Really? What the hell? It's official, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hell. And I'm taking over. I'm going on a one-way ticket, and I'm taking over the motherfucker. Try and stop me.
No, here's the thing. They all laugh, so they're coming with us.
Slap hands.
No. You all laugh, so you're coming.
Speaking of slap hands,
Yes.
at Sunday, right before we went to Publix, Vinny and I, to get some drinks when we're going to Elva and Lee Marie's house.
Yeah.
And we saw this beautiful, drop-dead, gorgeous blonde.
Yeah.
And we saw the boots. I was like, Vinny. He goes, what? I was like, I'm picking out something. I was like, Vinny. He goes like, what? And then I go, boots. He goes, boots? Boots. And we go, swing, swing,
Swing.
swing, slap hands, slap hands.
Excellent.
Sweet. Radical.
Excellent.
But
Alrighty, I've been all over the place.
Pretty much.
pretty dude, like that when me and Vinny get together, we have good conversations about the most random shit known to man. And I know Vinny about 7 years, Elvis about 7 years, and you, Frank, about 7 years. But Elvis and Vinny, hands down, are two of the best friends I'll probably ever have in my fucking life. They're not bad influenced. If you picture me doing some stupid shit, yeah, they do. Like Vinny goes, Zach, you're drunk. Yeah, run into that trash can. Guess what I did? I ran into the trash can because like, you're a fucking idiot. I was like, I'm drunk. What the hell do you suspect?
I didn't think you'd actually do it.
Dude, he's like, I had a big old bruise. My mom was like, what happened to you? I fell. My dad goes, were you drunk? I was like, not that bad. And I'm like, my dad, yeah. And I'm like, Vinny goes like, did your dad ask you what happened to your head? It's like, yeah. I was like, we asked you your jokes. Like, what was your from? Not that much. He's like, not that much. Not that much. I had to stop you from getting into a fight. I had to drag you by your hair. And then I was mad at you.
And his hair was longer back then.
But no, we had like in the 7 years, I miss the pay-per-views at Hooters like nothing.
We do, man.
I miss the piss out of it.
Yeah, we all had a blast. I mean, Frank, the Hooters. You remember the Hooters days? They were fun, right?
Everything was fun. I mean, we got to watch wrestling. We got to sit there and talk. We got to eat food. I mean, we had a good time, except for when Steven got there. He was
Okay, hold up real quick. Like, what's going on between Vinny and Steven? I'm not going to have that conversation.
Yeah, Frank and I have already had the conversation because I told. Here's the thing, Zach. We're not gonna have a conversation. Just let me preface this for the audience. I told the story about what happened between me and Steven when he was here. We already discussed it, so we don't need to anymore.
Okay.
Well, Frank happened to be listening to the show at the time that I mentioned it, and then after I was done, I said a couple of other things, and then I took his call. So Frank already knows what happened between me and Steven. He doesn't. You don't have to worry about keeping anything from him. I've already told him. He's already heard it.
Yeah, and the thing with me, see, I know Steven. God, I know Steven almost close to 12 years about 12 years. And here's the thing about him. Yes, Steven can be an obnoxious asshole. I could be an obnoxious asshole, but he's just better at doing it. But he's been through a lot of crap. Is he a good person at heart? Yes. Does he take shit too seriously? Oh, God, yeah. But Steven, to me, is considered a friend.
Yeah. And I wish, and here's the thing. My issue was very simple. We had a misunderstanding. He was doing the whole whipping us with the shirt. You were here for this.
Yes, I was.
It got a little out of control.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yep.
And I was punching him because I was trying to get him away from me. So I was punching him in the arm. I aimed too high. I hit him in the face, busted his lip, and I felt bad. And I apologized.
Until he said those magical words.
I said, I'm sorry about that. He goes, no, you're not. Go fuck yourself. And this is how I feel. And then he stormed out of the house. I'm sorry. If I apologize to you and your response to me is go fuck yourself, congratulations. I've just washed my hands completely of you.
Until he apologizes.
Yeah. If he wants to apologize, he's going to be the one that has to do it. As far as me initiating the conversation, not going to fucking happen. Because I lost
you for my stupid shit.
a lot. But here's the thing. I'm afraid I'll let you talk in a minute. But I just want to say, I had remorse for what I did until he said, go fuck yourself. If I apologize for something that I feel bad about and you tell me to go fuck myself, any remorse that I have for you disappears. I now no longer feel bad. I no longer feel sorry for you. My conscience is clear, and you can go suck a massive 12-inch cock. That being said, Frank, you may not.
As far as I'm concerned, you did the right thing. But like we were talking about, like Hooters, it was good. It was fun. And then Mazzy's was fun. We never knew when Zach was going to show up because he had to work. But when he did show up, it was really, really, really fun.
Yeah.
Because we got to do something that was fun for us. A Sunday out of the month. Well, that was fun for us because we got to do it, and it was just, we got to eat, we got to have fun, we got to talk, we got to just like see what's going on in everybody's life, and then we watched wrestling, and we had fun.
Yeah, and the thing is that we did everything. We talked, we ball busted each other, we did everything.
But it was more like a scrutiny. Yeah,
something like that. But the whole thing was that we always, and the thing is, we don't all hang out every day.
No.
Frank has his life, you have your life, I got mine. We're all on separate parts of the globe. Like the fact that it's your birthday is the reason you're here, and we're making time for this. But in general, we don't really hang out very often.
No, we don't.
But and it's not a hateful thing.
No,
it's just we all got shit to do. So that 1 month of the year, or 1 month, that one day of the month, I'm trying to say that one day of the month was our opportunity to go, hey, what's new in your life? What's new in your life? Hey, we're having fun. There's wrestling. Let's have fun. So that was our one time to like kind of catch up on where everybody was. Then when the night was over, we went back to our lives.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not like where like we like people go like, people was like, yeah, you like wrestling? Yeah, I like wrestling. Then one of my coworkers named Robbie pulls me aside. I was like, let's go outside and smoke. You're like, I'll just talk to you. I mean, we're dead. It's like, let me ask you something. I was like, what's up? He goes like, why do you've been talking about wrestling? This is right before WrestleMania. It's like, you've been talking nonstop about WrestleMania. What the hell? Like, you don't know WrestleMania? I mean, I've heard about it when I was a kid. I know what it is, but like, you've been nonstop. What is the big deal? It's like, I mean, like, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? All of us get this is right before the match. He's saying, shh.
Yeah. Let's not go into that.
We get together at Mazzy's in near Atlanta. Like there'll be there'll be a boatload of people. It's like, how many people? I go, fuck, almost 35 to 40 people. And he goes, really? Is that big? It's like, you have no. It's just not watching wrestling. That's one of it. It's hanging out, eating, people drinking their out. I don't drink. Just sitting there having fun. Leave shit at home. Leave the shit at work. We talk about wrestling. We ask about how people's lives are going. You say, like, somebody's upset. You talk to them. You be a friend. We ball bust. And believe me, when we ball bust. Ooh. When I get people who want, when somebody who's a wrestling fan who wants to come hang out with these pay-per-views, I'll be like, you better be prepared for it to take the ball busting of a fucking lifetime.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Well, the number one thing I say to new people is
you're gonna get
I don't say you're gonna get picked on. This is what I say, is that if you're new and you're not a fan of this, don't get involved. Is my question. Just watch. If you're new and you just show up and you're nice and you watch the show, 90% of the time you're not gonna get ball busted because you're new, and you don't ball bust people that are new. You just don't. You gotta let them get to know them, get them into the circle, and then you can fuck with them. See, we've known each other for years, so we can do it to each other. But if somebody new comes in, you got to kind of be nice to them, and while being dicks to each other. But the thing is that but if you're new and you come in and you try to get in on the action, then you're gonna get it back. And don't dish it out if you cannot take it. So you're not gonna get ball busted if you come out to the show if you're new, unless you start it.
There's certain rules of guidelines that you don't have. One, you don't talk about family members. No moms. This is not middle school. No moms. No dad jokes. Especially on most part. No grandparent jokes. Especially no kid jokes. No, none of that. But we say random jokes. Like the thing I like to call Vinny is I like to call him Chrome Dome, because no offense here, ladies and gentlemen, he's your Chrome Dome. Shiny. Haha. But then again, like,
he's been waiting all show to do that.
I have. Oh, by the way, I have to do it. I'm sorry. I have to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my music solo. I'm debuting, and I'm going to drum roll. Back on. That's all I wanted to do. Thank you very much. And speaking of,
but while you're up, why don't you river dance with your belt, wise ass? At least hold it right side up. What are you, David Arquette? Thank you, David Arquette. Sit down.
And when Vinny will bust me, like, insult me. Like, go dinner.
Yes, I tell him about boiling his dinner because he's Irish, and Irish people, when they eat stuff, they have to put it in a pot and boil it for 17 hours straight. Because
we're too drunk to give a shit.
Yes. They have to. There's so much drinking. They need to take their food and drink some more. So they're very big.
We try to cook the food every once in a while. Yes. Come on now. And the thing about the other thing is that yes, he is Italian, but he's also half Irish on his mother's side.
Yes.
That's why we get along so well. I mean,
sometimes you forget that I'm half Irish because you hate the Italian side.
I don't hate Italians, you dumbass. I don't like the Italians think they're hot shit just because they're fucking Italian. You know where I'm coming from.
I know. But I think I'm hot shit because I'm a local celebrity. And nothing to do with the Italian.
When you came to pick me up for that pay-per-view, you got to meet a fan because of who? Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hold on, guys. I'm enjoying the fun, but we have another caller, and I'm going to keep Frank on the line because I recognize this number.
Oh, shit.
So we're going to see who this call is and have him join the party. Hello, you're on the Boochcast.
How you doing, ladies? It's Lucky the Leprechaun. How you doing?
Oh, fuck.
It's Lucky the Leprechaun. How you doing? How you doing, sir?
Oh, just stroking of my shillelagh, catching my pot to go through that over. Happy birthday.
Oh,
Fuck you!
yes.
Funny.
Yes, Lucky the Leprechaun is he says he's been stroking his shillelagh
I got a shillelagh
with the pot of gold, counting his pot of gold, and wants to wish Zach a happy birthday.
Fuck off, thank you, by the way.
Oh, you don't want your birthday wishes? Well, go fuck yourself, huh?
Keep it up, Elvis.
Dude, you almost got your birth. You could have got some birthday wishes, man. Now you're being mean to the leprechaun guy. I mean, he called in. He's trying to be polite. He wants to give you wishes. He wants to give you wishes. I'll toss you out that goddamn window.
Irish
Do
curse.
it again. Do it again. I'll toss you out that goddamn window. You want to go?
Come on, see what you got. Bloody nuts. See what you got. Come on.
Oh, fuck that shit.
You lose. All right, you get. Yeah, I didn't hit your head. Go ahead. Yeah.
There you go.
There you
Now,
go. There you go. Okay,
all right.
okay.
So now we got that out of our system. Ow, my arm hurts. Yeah, I'm still recovering from the sponge guy bloodbath match. That's why my arm's kind of killing me. Yeah, dude, seriously, like I hit the. You don't realize you know how long it took me to wash that Kool-Aid off too? Jesus.
You actually gave? Wow, I'm shocked.
You guys sound like a gay porno site. It's crazy. You know what the thing to get that fucking like Kool-Aid on?
Who?
That's funny.
God, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we ball bust each other. We put each other through fucking hell. And it's so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
The only problem is I can insult Vinny. I can insult Frank, but really, I can't really insult Elvis in any sort of way. So I'm going to leave it to the Booch.
Yeah, I'll handle that at a later date.
You.
I got.
What? A later date? We got time now.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, Elvis hasn't pissed me off today.
Have I pissed you off?
Yeah, you pissed me off today.
What did I do? So I do a drum on you.
Yeah, you did a drum on my head, and then you just punched my arm.
As soon as I get home tonight.
Are we having a fucking show or what, guys?
What?
This is a clusterfuck of a show. Way to go, Zach. You just fucked everything up. Happy birthday.
Bite me, Elvis, you prick.
How you doing?
All right.
How you doing? I'm a certified. No, I don't know how to.
You're not a certified G.
I'm
But anyway,
a stud, and you can't teach
He's
that.
he is a certified G. He's a certified ginger.
I am a certified ginger. Thank you, Elvis. That's not an insult. That's a fucking compliment. We're 2% of the world, so you can kiss my ass.
No, you so much faster. I'm not doing anything like that, man.
I think we got a hater. Got a hater.
Oh my God! I didn't expect
You
this.
got
I'm
Heath
just sitting
Slater.
here on
You got Heath
shelf.
Slater on there.
All right, hold on. All right, Elvis, you've just joined the show, man. If you got what's on your mind today?
I have to sit there and hang out with you guys tonight. So, my night's just fucking shot. So, yeah.
What's the bit? Is that supposed to be a bad thing as long as we've been hanging out together? Really? Am I like you don't want to hang out with me, the redhead of the group, who takes way more crap than anybody else part of our group? Huh? I can't hear you.
Well, you take the most crap because you dish out the most crap, and you try to insult. You try to throw the disses at everybody, and you fail epically.
Then teach me how to do it.
Come on, you just need new material, man. It's like watching a Vegas act. You come out, it's like a Vegas magic act. It's like that movie, Burt Wonderstone, where he comes out every day for 10 years. It's like, I'm Burt Wonderstone. I'm Anton Marvelton, but you already knew that for 10 years straight. That's pretty much what it is. Like,
I like the part where Jim Carrey hit the nose of his head.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Zach has an awesome act. He goes to Vegas. He makes himself disappear, and then there you go. We can't find him. So he makes himself disappear.
Well, but shouldn't the trick be he reappears somewhere?
No. Yeah, at your studio.
Ta-da!
Give you a hard
Yeah.
time. No.
He walks out on stage, he disappears, and he reappears in a pool full of sunscreen. See, that's how you do an insult, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, speaking of insults, I got one for
Wow.
you. Like, you go on stage. You disappear. You end up in a bowl of pasta and meatballs.
And everybody loves pasta and meatballs, so I got to stand
Yeah,
ovation.
I can't do the joke I want to do. I can't.
10 seconds.
Yeah, let's not get too crazy. This is radio.
Damn it. FCC.
There's no FCC.
I'm not going to go that
it's
far.
It's blog
There's
talk
no
rules,
FCC.
man.
I'm not going to. I want to so badly right now, but I'm not going to. Yes, if I don't have sunscreen, if I go out into the world, ladies and gentlemen, I end up redder than I already am.
Yeah.
That's even humanly possible.
One time he got drunk and he passed out in the afternoon, and I fried an egg on his back. He doesn't know. He just found out today. I'm sorry, man. I was hungry. What do you want me to do? I didn't have a stove.
But hey, who's the current champion right now?
Dean Ambrose? Oh, you meant the prediction thing. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna catch so much hell tonight.
All right, well, hey guys, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm at the bank. Let me call you guys in a minute.
Okay.
No problemo.
Alrighty. Elvis's call just dropped. I don't have the heart to tell him that we're past the halfway point where you can't call back in anymore. So we're not. I forgot to tell him that because he was in a rush. But anyway, as you can tell, we've been going through a lot of craziness on the show today. We still got plenty of time to go here. So what we're gonna do is let's see. We've been talking about TNA and NXT. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going with TNA since it's Thursday. So what I'll probably do is we talked before about the opening segment. Frank, if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to put you on mute for just a second so I can play this clip.
Okay.
All right. So basically, we have a clip here. We were talking before about Matt Hardy summoning Brother Nero. Well, for you guys, we're going to play the clip for you here. Here's Matt Hardy bringing Brother Nero to the ring.
I only have a handful of people that I care about. My beautiful wife, Rebecca. My son, Matsu. Senor Benjamin, and my devotees. There is one man I used to care about until that traitor betrayed me. And he is my obsolete mule. And I want him in this ring right now. Brother Nero, I am summoning you. Obsolete. My wife does not say no to me. what you think or what they think tonight. I will win. Broken man. You knew my I don't care what sort of deviant tactics you have planned. I mean, then you're meant to be coming rolling down there in a lawnmower Cadillac. That won't stop me. Vanguard wants to come flying in with a dilapidated boat and airdropping on my head. That won't stop me. Nothing will stop me from kicking your ass back to the hardy house of whores. You are nothing more. This man is not Brother Nero. This man is Jeffrey Hardy. Relevant creature. Relevant creature. Relevant creature. Relevant creature. Relevant creature. I know you're in a very difficult spot. We're cool. If you get involved in this match, I'm sorry. Give up a war. Please, coming out there. I will eat you, and then I'll eat your gas. You can say a lot of stuff about me. If you talk about Skunk and Clover, this is on. Let's go. Bring on the pizza. Let's go. Steve Ray versus Matt Hardy, and this one gets started.
What? Mystery will be now? Alex, you do not have to continue to do that. Oh, okay. You really caught my eye last week. And there were so many women out there in that ring. Things could have gone badly very quickly. So thank you for stepping up. Maria, I didn't do that for you. Maria, you're talking to me. Hi, nice to meet you. I was and am the queen bee of the knockouts. And ever since you came here, I've been pushed aside so that your face of a champion and your hunk of an assistant could be star players. Gail Kim deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But I want to know what you're going to do for me when I beat her. Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see if you beat Gail Kim.
ruin everything. This will not go unpunished. Punish me then, man. Punish me, for God's sakes. What the hell's worse than delation? Punish me. The breaking point. It's almost orgasmic. Yeah, break. Because you and everyone will learn that everything you love one day dies. And then you learn to love something new.
Well, that right there, I decided to play 3 very interesting clips, and as we can see, we're experiencing some YouTube difficulties here as my brother is regaining his chair to go do his thing. Zach's now struggling to get this other chair. Yeah, and things are getting tad disorganized here. But Frank, how'd you feel about those clips?
I liked it. I thought it was a good clip. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought EC, and I love the fact that EC3 was the one to do it, because for those who may not know, when the final deletion was starting, when they did the whole thing about Jeff going to Matt's house and him playing the piano and Rebby tossing the fake baby to Jeff and all that stuff. Well, so many fans were saying it was the worst segment in wrestling history that EC3 did a parody video of it with Eli Drake and also Tyrus and Rockstar Spud. They all kind of got together. This is breaking kayfabe. And Josh Matthews watched this going, I cannot believe what I just saw here. This is the worst segment in history. And EC3 did, and EC3 says, the worst segment? Really? And they all just kind of look into the camera like, are you serious? That video got so popular with TNA wrestling fans, they started loving the final deletion. So to see EC3 out there talking about dilapidated boats and saying, broken Matt, you knew I'd come. I just loved it.
Broken Matt, you knew I'd come. Broken Vinny, you knew I'd come.
Mm-hmm.
Broken Frank, you knew I'd come.
So, and that's how I felt about it. Then, of course, we already talked about the match. So that's why I skipped and played the other 2 clips of Allie, Madison Rayne, and Maria, where now Madison Rayne has to face Gail Kim for knocking her out last week on TNA.
I really liked it. There's nobody else better than to have EC3 to come down there and come face to face with Broken Matt.
Oh yeah, it was great. They had the match. Matt Hardy won. Now, as we saw in the 3rd clip, there will be a punishment for Brother Nero, and I guess we'll have to wait till next week to find out what it is. And then after that, we cut to and we got the next match, which is Gail Kim versus Madison Rayne. And Frank, did you see this match?
No.
Okay. Zach, you see this match?
I saw the ending of it.
Okay. What did you think of the ending?
The ending was great. Gail Kim is one of the best female wrestlers I ever seen in my life. But the ending, I was half asleep, so
yeah. Well, overall, I thought the match was basically it was a decent women's wrestling match. It wasn't one of the best matches I'd ever seen, but it did what it needed to do. You know what I mean? It had basic in-ring action. It had the great back and forth. Gail getting the pin because obviously the goal is Gail Kim has to defeat every woman in the Knockouts division if she ever wants to fight Sienna for the championship. But if she loses just one match, then she doesn't get another title shot ever again, ever. Usually they say never again as long as Sienna's champion, but she's saying never again. And here's how I feel. I think Gail Kim's one of the best in the world too. Deserving of the TNA Hall of Fame, absolutely. But I don't think Gail Kim should get another Knockouts title shot.
What's that?
Because she's been champion 6 times already.
She was the first women's champion.
Of TNA, yes.
She was the first knockout champion.
Yes, of TNA. But my thing is this. She's already been the champion 6 times. Putting the belt on her again doesn't benefit the knockouts division. It's like in WWE when we would see the same guy win the champion over and over and over again. Like when Triple H would be champion over and over and over again, drove people crazy. When Cena won the belt over and over and over and over and over again, drove people crazy. Gail Kim is becoming that. Not that she's politicking for it, but that she's getting it multiple times. And after a while, it devalues the rest of the division because you're not letting anybody else have the belt, so it doesn't build anybody else up. And Gail Kim is in the Hall of Fame because I believe her time in TNA is coming to an end. She's got nothing left to do there. She needs to move on. And I mean that in a respectful way. Because if you keep winning the belt and it keeps revolving around you, eventually the other knockouts start to suffer. Because you're not building a new star. You're banking on Gail Kim. And when the day finally comes for her to retire, you're going to have a knockouts division of why the hell should we care? Especially when half the knockouts that were stars have already left the company. Velvet Sky is gone. Angelina Love is gone. You name a famous knockout, I guarantee you she don't work there anymore. Awesome Kong got fired.
Why'd she get fired?
She got into an altercation with Rebby.
Oh, okay.
Because Rebby was dressing in the knockouts dressing room, getting ready to go, and Awesome Kong felt she wasn't a wrestler and didn't belong there, so she grabbed her bags and threw them out in the hallway. And then they got into a shouting match, and Maxwell was in the room. So it was kind of like they were worried that Maxwell might have been in danger. I mean, Awesome Kong didn't attack the baby. She's not psycho. But there was all this altercation, and Rebby had Maxwell with her, so it was just – and Awesome Kong was unprofessional, and she was let go. So that's why Taryn Terrell found Jesus and left the company. So there's no stars left in the knockouts division. So if you keep revolving around Gail Kim, nothing's going to happen. At least that's how I think. Frank, do you have a different opinion?
I just think you can only be champion so many times before it gets boring. Like you said, Triple H, champion. 15 times. I don't want to see him champion again. I want to see him intercontinental, something else. So like the same thing. If you're champion over and over, you want to see something new. You want to see a new champion. You want to see something that's not. I mean, that doesn't get old because as many times as you let a woman or a guy have a championship over and over and over, you start getting tired of it. You don't want to see it anymore. You're just like, when are you going to lose the championship so we can move on?
Absolutely. And like I said, it doesn't help the division at all.
No,
shades. And on that note, I'm going to move on to the next segment here. And now there's 2 clips in a row. I'm going to play them both, and we'll talk about both. The first is going to be It's Mike Bennett. Somebody wrote this, and basically, as we all know, Moose from Ring of Honor has now come to TNA. Him and Mike Bennett were both Ring of Honor alumni, so they're friends, which helps them out. Well, Moose is about to have his first match in TNA. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Moose, the Miracle Mike Bennett tells you all about him. And then after that, we're going to play a special moment or a segment between Bram and Rosemary. Now, for those of you that haven't been following lately, Bram and Rosemary are starting to date, which is weird. You know, remember when they tried to recruit Bram to be in Decay?
Yeah.
And he kind of turned them down? Well, they found this moment where backstage where you know how the bromance, they're trying to talk about Big Brother After Dark by saying we can now have cameras all over the Impact Zone. Mm-hmm. Well, the bromance had a fight with Decay and said, before we have this match, we got some special footage to show in Decay. You may want to take a look at this. And it was Bram and Rosemary making out. So Decay is shocked because now they realize Rosemary and Bram are dating. So basically, Bram meets Rosemary out in the middle of nowhere. And Rosemary basically tells her story of how she became crazy and deranged. And she's telling Bram the story because she's falling in love with Bram and wants him to know everything. So those are the 2 clips I'm going to play. I'm gonna play them both in a row, and then we'll both talk about them. So don't worry, Frank. We're just gonna put you on hold for a second. Don't hang up. And first, here's Moose and Mike Bennett.
What you're looking at is the newest member of the TNA roster. What you're looking at is the most destructive force in professional wrestling. What you're looking at is Moose. And now, what you are looking at is the miracle. The man who promised to save TNA wrestling. And I have done just that. But for whatever reason, Dixie Carter has a problem with me. She wants me to quit. Why, Dixie? What do you have against the miracle? I mean, let's look at the facts since I've gotten here. I beat the unbeatable EC3. And in the Bound for Glory playoffs, I've already beaten Jeff Hardy. And now the only man standing in my way to the finals is Drew Galloway. And let's face it, that's a man that I have already beaten. So Lashley, now I'm talking to you. You keep that title nice and warm for me. You keep that World Heavyweight Championship title real warm because I'm coming for it. Just like Moose is coming for you. And it doesn't matter who gets in my way. I'm going to crush him. I'm going to squash him. I'm going to hit him with a game breaker. Bang! Move. 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 So, I'm here. I mean, really, you could just, call me on the cell phone. This is a place of secrets. A place where we began. And besides, I wanted to look into your eyes and tell you, if I can find courage. I grew up on this one. And like any kid who doesn't know any better, I was happy-go-lucky, innocent even. Because the outside world was so far away, miles and miles away. But then something shattered that innocence. When I was little, I had this cat, Fifi. And one day, Fifi got so sick, I took her to Mother for mending. Oh, honey, I know you're scared, but I'm going to look after your kitty. Everything will be all right. I promise. And Mama will make sure Fifi makes a full recovery. So I went out to the porch to study, but it being a beautiful day, I found I couldn't concentrate because I loved Fifi so much. And I couldn't keep my mind on anything but her. I just poor little heart. I thought it'd be best I go for a walk, as I'd often do with daydreams. High above, but at moments before, in a beautiful and perfect world, I found myself weak, not just for Fifi, but for myself too. For it was just inconceivable that Mother had myself. Perhaps she was just trying to protect me. It didn't feel that way. It was as if she stripped my skin from my body, layer by layer. And it was in that moment of incredible loss I fell. Or dreaming. Because I'm talking to a tree. And what you told me was something I could never have expected in a million years. Which was that I had a little brother I'd never met here. Named Montgomery. Oh, a little brother. Montgomery. I had a cat. But she's not here anymore. What? She's gonna be a... You? It was Montgomery who first explained magic in the forest. In many ways, I might listen to the
voices speaking from every corner of it.
I mean, to be honest, darling, like, I'm a little bit confused to what's going on here, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, you're talking about, you know, brothers that don't exist and bloody dead cats and you know, like, you talk to trees and things, like, you know, I'm a little bit put out by all this, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit confused.
I didn't bring you out here to tell you about them. I brought you out here to tell you what happened in there.
Okay, now when Rosemary says in there, she's pointing to a barn. So obviously something happened in this barn where she lives. But I think I can speak for everyone when I say, what the fuck just happened here?
The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
The Blair Witch Project.
It sounds like
The Blair Witch Project.
It sounds like a soap. It sounds like a soap opera that there was no end to.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened? What happened? I mean, she was talking about what is she talking? It seems like nothing. Where are you going with that?
Pretty
Where
much.
is that supposed to go?
Well, that's the question. We're supposed to find out later. There's another segment that they do that airs a little later, but I think like they do a continuation where it's like next week we're going to get more of the story. They're trying to get us to follow along. But what I find interesting is that one of the things that started Rosemary on this path to being sick and twisted is a dead cat. That essentially is it. She had a pet cat. It got sick. Mom said, don't worry, we're going to take care of it. And then she finds the cat later in the trash can dead. Pretty much the cat was dead and the mom threw it away. Which is which is the dumbest thing you could ever do. At least do something where you bury it in the backyard and say it ran away. You throw it in a trash can where any random person could find it.
That's basically fuck you to your kid.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen a mom do.
You know what would have been awesome? What if the cat threw her away? How would she have liked it?
Oh,
I mean,
now that would be a compelling story.
Oh, well, my cat threw me away. Okay, well, that's fine, because what does the cat have to, why throw a cat away in the garbage? You could have buried it. Well, that's great. Well, the cat's going to be taken to the dump. I mean, come on.
Is that even legal? To throw a dead animal in a trash can that's not roadkill, like that's not like a possum or something? Like, is that even legal to throw a cat in a trash can? I don't even know.
No.
It's not illegal?
The cat's alive.
Well, I mean,
yes, it's just animal cruelty. The cat's dead. It just makes you look like you don't give two shits about animals.
Okay, I'm just saying that if I'm just saying, is it legal to put a dead cat in a garbage can?
No.
Okay, so again, this is weird shit. Like, I thought maybe it was gonna be something where she could hear the cat's voice in her head telling her to kill her mother. Like, that would have been a more compelling story. Like, she goes crazy and kills her mom because she didn't fix the kitty cat.
And people say, I have a fucked up mind.
Well, excuse me for trying to make a creative story. How do you think those horror movies get made? Someone has a sick, demented mind, but instead of actually going out and committing the crime, they put it to paper, they sell it to 20th Century Fox, and they make billions.
Billions. Science.
They gross over $1 million. You know what I mean? So
I see what you mean. That yes, in the responsibility, yes, this is messed up.
But instead, it's like I'm mourning the death of my cat, and I fall out of the tree. And I hit my head, and I wake up, and the tree is talking to me.
No, that's called LSD. Hey, that rhymed.
Yeah, but she could. I mean, the cat had no reason to go in the garbage can. She can't throw the tree in the garbage can.
Well, that's true, but
unless you're King Kong.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying that I thought that would have been a more sick, twisted story than falling out of a tree. I would have liked to have seen something like that, and that way Bram is legitimately freaked, you know? But instead
Well,
of
I mean,
falling out of a
I
tree
tell
and a
her that-
talking tree, like it's good, but it could have been a better story.
It's Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly.
Well, that was odd. That was so odd. The whole thing, that was just odd. I mean, where is she? I'm curious to see next week where this is going. Oh, yeah, I threw my whole family away in the trash can. I mean, is that what's going to be next week?
I don't know. Something happened in the barn. That's what I think is the next thing they're going to talk about. They said, I didn't bring you to talk about that. I bring you to tell you what happened in there. And she pointed at the barn. So the barn is the focal point of the story.
When she goes into the barn, what happened? I see dead people in the barn.
Maybe.
I see dead people all the time. Oh no.
And then of course we showed the clip of not EC3. I don't know why this guy wrote this. I want to punch him in the face. But anyway, Mike Bennett hyping up Moose, and Moose had a match that if you are a fan of Georgia independent wrestling, this match was for you. Because even though it was technically meant to be a squash jobber match, the jobber he faced is a wrestling star that's performed in Atlanta multiple times. Indie wrestling star that's been in the ATL, especially Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. And I'm talking about David Starr versus Moose. And I don't know. Did you guys see this match?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure before I start. But anyway, Moose and David Starr had a hell of a match. You know, David Starr got some offense in, but mostly it was Moose dominating because they're trying to make Moose look like menacing and tough because he's a big old sumbitch. Ring of Honor star was undefeated for a full year until his streak got ended by a member of the Cruiserweight Classic, Cedric Alexander, which I mentioned that. So, and what's great about it is that Moose is like a big star. He played for the Falcons for a few years. He was a Falcons NFL star. Then he went to Ring of Honor, became a massive sensation. Now he's in TNA, almost went to NXT, but he signed with TNA instead. Don't ask me why he chose that. You have to ask him. But
I'm scared too.
But he was great. And then, of course, he dominates David Starr. He power bombs him onto the apron, which is the most painful thing you can do, because I've heard wrestlers say the apron is the worst part of the mat because it has the least amount of padding. So you feel a lot of pain when you hit that apron. And then Moose hits, then destroys him with the game breaker, which is the wrist lock transition into a short arm lariat where he does that thing where he turns him around, then he does a 360 spin and then clotheslines him. Which is epic. And then Moose gets the pinfall and they celebrate in the ring, Moose and Mike Bennett. And, Moose is showing off his devastation. And as we all know, Moose is going to be in his corner when Mike Bennett takes on Drew Galloway in the main event, which is the winner of this match of that match is going to face EC3 in the finals. So now Bennett grabs the microphone after the match with Moose, and here is what Mike Bennett has to say about Moose and the destruction he brings.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just witnessed was the most dominant, the most destructive, and the baddest man in professional wrestling. The world champion, the X-Division champion, he's headed for Moose. Is this the battle we've all been waiting for? Is it going to happen now? Whoa, everyone just needs to take a deep breath right here. There's a lot of testosterone going on right now. Everyone just breathe. Whoa, look, hey, Booch, just calm down a bit. Booch, just take a step back for a second. Just take a deep breath. There you go. Look, Lashley. And this is the baddest man in pro wrestling. Moose, is this a matchup that everybody wants to see? We got Lashley. We got Moose. Who wants to see that match right here, right now? You know what? Moose, this match isn't going to happen right now. No. Moose. I got a Bound for Glory playoff match, and I need you to have my back. So you'll focus on that later, all right? So come on, Moose. Let's get out of here. Come on, let's go. Come on. Moose. We got the match. The match that everyone's been waiting for, Lashley versus Moose. Has been shot to the critical. Don't you worry about it. Come on. Remember everything. One of these days, you're not going to let you get down and play. What I have, the TNA World Heavyweight title. And I also have the X Division title. And there's a lot of guys that want that too. What I want to do is I want to win all the gold. That's how you dominate. If there's a single title out there, I want it. And if anybody wants to come out and try to stop me, they can try it because I'm here to destroy the entire roster. He earned an opportunity at Destination X to compete for the X Division Championship. He just kept the number one contender for the X Division title. And let's put one thing clear right now. I am not out here to try and stop you. Honestly, I don't think there's anybody that could stop you from doing anything. Exactly. But I am out here to fight you. You see, I've been in the X Division for over 5 years now, and without a doubt, you are the most dominant wrestler on the planet. But you're not exactly an X Division wrestler. So you're out here saying that you don't want to hand over the X Division title? Well, that's fine, because I'm out here to take it from you. I'm the number one contender for the X Division title. And I'm challenging you right now. You see, I'm not an X Division guy. You people don't think that I can do what he does? You don't think I can do what you do? Well, I tell you, DJC, you can't do what I do. So I'm going to tell you this. You pick what match you want, and I'm going to whoop your ass no matter what it is. I pick right now. Any match. Any match. Nice choice. Okay, let me think about this. What do you think? Okay, I got it. I want DJC versus Bobby Lashley in a ladder match for the X Division title. If that's what you want, let's do it.
Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys here, and I'm trying to remember my WWE history. Does anybody here recall seeing Bobby Lashley in a ladder match?
No.
Frank, you remember Bobby being in a ladder match?
No.
Yeah, so this is definitely a new one. And like I said, for those people just tuning in, as you guys are or haven't been following up on TNA lately, basically, Bobby Lashley defeated Eddie Edwards in a title versus title match.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he is now both the world champion and the X Division champion. He owns both belts now. And he fully intends on holding on to both belts. And, you know, he was trying to make a challenge saying, all right, book an X Division match, type match, and let's do it. So he puts the ladder match. I personally would have preferred Ultimate X between the two of them. Because that would truly test if Bobby Lashley really is an X Division guy or not. But because in the ladder match, basically what we got was, and I don't know, did you guys see the ladder match?
Bits and pieces.
Frank, did you see the ladder match?
The ladder match. I mean, you have to be a certain. I think you have to be a certain type of wrestler to be able to do a ladder match.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think he's good enough to do a ladder match. I don't think he's good enough. He's not like a Hardy that can jump up like five of the steps and then just jump off and not care. I don't think he's good enough to do the ladder match. He could have done, okay, I would have said a cage match, okay, or anything else but a ladder match. I just don't see that. Cage match, any other type of match, last man standing, any match but besides a ladder match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you've never done it before, then you don't know how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true.
Anything else, I would have said anything else. But a ladder match, unless you've done like a zillion of them, then I would have went something different.
Yeah, me too.
And you could have done anything else. There's so much other last man standing, cage match, whatever. But a ladder match, a chair match, tables and chair match, anything. But I don't think a ladder is his cup of tea.
And we learned that in this match because basically DJZ pretty much did all the high spots. You know, he was doing all the springboard moves, the jumping off the ladder, you know, taking Lashley out. And the high flying moves was how he was able to take Lashley off his feet at times. So there were times where it looked like DJZ was going to win. And DJZ looked like he was getting a massive push. But the problem is, like, there were times where DJZ would bring a ladder into the ring. Bobby Lashley would just pick it up like it was nothing and throw it out. And then eventually Bobby Lashley, as he was climbing the ladder, Lashley would hit a nasty spine buster, but Zima comes back with a low blow and the rolling leaping DDT. Zima climbs the ladder, but Lashley climbs to the other side and gorilla presses Zima off the ladder. He does like a big press slam and throws him off the ladder, and then he grabs, and then he pulls the title down, and Bobby Lashley's still the X Division champion. So even though he retained the title, it wasn't much of a ladder match. It was basically DJZ doing all the work and Lashley just grabbing the belt and press slamming DJZ.
Well, what drives me crazy is I think that if you're going to have two championships, I think they should eventually have you lose that other championship pretty quick, because you don't need to be somebody with two championships they need to give it that if you want to boost somebody, you need to give one of the championships to somebody else. I don't agree with how long I've seen people. I've seen people have 2 championships, but usually they don't hold it for the rest of their lives.
No.
I just think if he's the heavyweight championship and he's X Division, okay, I think the guy that I think he should lose that championship.
Yeah.
One of them.
And he also said he has a goal to become the King of the Mountain champion. He wants to hold all the gold in TNA. So he's also gunning for Eli Drake and the King of the Mountain title. So time will tell if he gets that. And on that note, I'm looking at how much time we've got left in the show. So there's 2 major matches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one segment before we move on. The other ones I'm going to save for a later date. But we talked before about the Rosemary Bram saga. I do have a second part to that segment. So we'll play that story so no one's left hanging about what the hell is going on. And then we'll go into the last 2 matches. So right now, here is Rosemary and Bram talking again.
Well, and I don't know how important it is for you to tell me these things, but, like, I'm here for you, okay? I'll listen. All right?
Never told anyone these things. Scared.
Don't be.
What? It was honest. How do I know what he looks like? How do you know what he looks like, Montgomery? I never even met him. You've never even met him. Don't lie. I'm not sure about this. You see, I never even thought of loving anyone until I met Johnny. Well, when Montgomery told me to prepare myself, I didn't know that Johnny would come. But then, against that promise, he didn't. So I decided to write him a love letter. First in my life. And on the page I confessed my heart it was ready to split in 2. But still Johnny wouldn't come to me as Montgomery had foretold. So losing faith, I began casting every spell, using every trick I'd been taught. For after all, hasn't it been another who told me Johnny in the first place? As for before, Johnny would come. I love you, I told him. And it was as beautiful a feeling as I've ever experienced. But then, Johnny wasn't the boy I thought him to be. Because at the moment when I'd let my guard down, I can't.
Look, at the end of the day, whether you tell me or not about these weird things that happen to you, it doesn't matter. Right now, I'm here for you. Okay?
I'll tell you. I have to take you to exactly what. So the ghost can help me tell the story.
So, just when you thought this story couldn't get any weirder, it does. So, basically, I should have mentioned this when I played the first clip, but Montgomery, that's the name of the tree she's talking to. If you want to know how weirder this whole thing got. And to me, when she talked about Johnny, a part of me remembered a clip from a while back. Like, I don't know how much you've been following TNA, but have you been following since the Decay kind of formed?
That Abyss doesn't have his mask anymore.
Yeah. Well, at one point, there was a wrestler named Jimmy Havoc who showed up in TNA. And at one point, he said he had unfinished business with Rosemary. And Rosemary had this look on her face like the devil just walked in. She had that. So she looked madder than normal. You know?
Not even humanly possible.
And that was right around the time when Rosemary was still trying to figure out who Decay was. So when I heard Johnny, I was thinking maybe she meant to say Jimmy, and maybe this would explain, because they never really fully explained what unfinished business Jimmy had, or Johnny, or what Jimmy had with Rosemary. They never told us. So I'm thinking these stories could be linked somehow. I mean, I don't know. Frank, what was your thought?
I thought it was weird. I'm just curious to see how, if, like you said, if this is how it's linked, because I thought it was weird. I mean, I don't know. I want to know where they're going with it. That's what I want to know. Where are we going with that?
Yeah. And obviously Bram is showing that he's here for her. So this is a legit relationship now that's being formed. And you can put your head up, dude. We're on camera. Right. So we're trying to figure out where the storylines go. And now they're saying, I take you to the exact spot where it happened. So after that was a to be continued. So after this, we have to wait till next Thursday to find out what happened between Rosemary and Johnny and why she's so afraid to tell Bram.
Maybe some crazy ex-boyfriend.
I don't know. It sounds like she's gonna end up sleeping with the tree. That's what it sounds like.
2 babies.
I don't know. That would be funny if she was kissing the tree, and then just for comedic effect, they have Molly Shannon come out. Because remember when she did the Superstar?
Oh,
when she was, I forget the girl's name. Like, because you remember in the movie, she kept making out with that tree in the freaking schoolyard.
Yeah.
So that would just be funny for comedic effect if Molly Shannon showed up. But they're not going to.
It'd be really funny if it's like, eh?
But they don't have the money to pay Molly Shannon, so it's never going to happen. But anyway, or unless Molly Shannon gets a drug habit and is desperate for cash, then maybe. But ultimately, I think it's an interesting segment. We're going to see how it goes. And like I said, I have other clips and stuff, but I'm going to play those later because instead I'm just going to jump in to the last 2 matches. We got about 7 minutes, so we can't go too long with this. But we got the TNA World Tag Team titles on the line in Monsters Ball. Decay versus the Bromance.
The Decay one.
Yes, Decay one.
Okay.
Did you see the Monsters Ball?
No.
Frank, did you see the Monsters Ball?
No.
All right. Well, if you've ever seen Monsters Ball before, the match before, it's everything you thought it was going to be. There was the thumbtacks. There was the plyboard with the barbed wire on it. Janice makes an appearance. If y'all know who Janice is.
Janice. I know who Janice is very well.
Yes, the big piece of wood with all the spiked nails that no one ever gets hit with Janice. I find that interesting. That's always just a random spot for Abyss. What?
Abyss did.
Abyss got hit with Janice?
Yeah, by Crimson.
Oh, I missed that.
No, he goes like this came out of the ring. I came out to the arena. He's like, does his thing, does that thing or that, and he goes, and he following Crimson's hand, and he yeah, Crimson. So there he was. I thought he was dead.
Yes, but then of course, what was great was at one point, Jesse Goddard gets the Boston Crab in that he calls the Adonis lock, I think is what he calls it, or something like that. The Adonis Crab or something like that. It's Adonis something. But he's got him locked in it, and he's on. And Crazy Steve is on the thumbtacks as he's getting the submission hold. So he's like belly down, his face is like this, so the tacks don't get into his eyes or nothing like that. And he's like in the tacks, like in pain. But of course, eventually Abyss breaks it up. Robbie grabs Janice, is about to attack Abyss with it, but instead he hits Crazy Steve. But Steve sidesteps him, and then Robbie turns around right into a choke slam from Abyss into the barbed wire board. They get the pin and the win. Decay retains the tag team belts. So Decay is going to be tag team champions for a while, despite the fact there isn't much of a tag team division. Although technically there is, since the Wolves are back together. And on that note, we're going to move on to the main event. This was the Bound for Glory semifinals. Drew Galloway versus Mike Bennett. Now, earlier in the show, EC3 said, he said, I want our rivalry to come to an end. So I'm willing to help you out. And Drew Galloway says, EC3, stay away from the ring. Because every time you've interfered, you've inadvertently cost me the match. So Drew Galloway's having the match with Mike Bennett. It's amazing. Great back and forth action. Great, amazing in-ring prowess. In the end, Moose goes for a spear on EC3, but he moves out of the way. Moose crashes into the ring steps. Maria hands Bennett a kendo stick, but EC3 takes it away from him. He goes to swing at Mike Bennett. Bennett ducks. He hits Drew Galloway again. Moose pulls EC3 to the floor and hits him with the game breaker. Bennett then hits the Miracle in Progress, and Mike Bennett is going to the finals to fight EC3. We've got about 4 minutes left, so Frank, I'll let you share your thoughts before we wrap up.
Well, Drew Galloway, I like him. I think he should be champion because when they had him in WWE, they didn't do shit with him. And I think EC3 needs to stay away from the ring. So I think that I think Drew Galloway should have won because I think he deserved it because he had the championship, but you never saw him in WWE as champion.
Yeah.
And I think he's more than a one-time champion.
Yeah, because he has been champion before in TNA. He lost the world title at Slammiversary to Bobby Lashley. So this would be him trying to get the rematch. But instead, it's going to be between... I wanted to see Broken Matt Hardy win the whole thing, personally. Hell, I wanted to see James Storm win the whole thing. That guy is way overdue for a championship. But I do agree. I see definitely where you're coming from.
But see, that just drives me crazy because you'll have these wrestlers that are good, that deserve it, and then you just let them just roam in the dust. You're not doing anything with them. You need, if James Storm, he deserves a championship. But this seems like they get the newer wrestlers, and we'll just go with them. And then the ones that are been here forever, we'll just put them on the back burner.
Yes. And I wish we could talk more about it, but we got to wrap this show on Blog Talk for today. So I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in live. I want to thank everybody listening to the archives. I want to thank Chucky Seymour for calling in. I want to thank you, Frank, for calling in. We'll be back on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. West Coast time with a brand new episode of the Boochcast. Until then, this is Vinny and Zach saying keep on living life and take care. It's been the Boochcast. We'll talk to you guys Monday.
Okay.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
How'd I do?
You did very good on Blog Talk. We're still live on YouTube, though. So what we're going to do right now with YouTube is we'll just finish up some final thoughts because I had to. The thing is, after 2:59 or 3 o'clock, Blog Talk kicks us off.
Okay.
So I had to be very, very fast with that. That's why I let Frank share his thoughts because he's on Blog Talk and you're sitting here. So what we'll do is before we officially wrap the show up officially, I will allow you the opportunity, or us the opportunity, to share our final thoughts on the tag title match and the world title and the world title matches. So if you have anything you want to comment about Monsters Ball, go ahead.
Monsters Ball was great. I just saw the last couple of clips of it. Decay. And it looks like the type of people I used to hang out with in high school. But it was a great match. I gave it 10 thumbs. Tired. I need some coffee. But I didn't have my coffee today.
I know. Buck up. We only got a few minutes. Come on.
I didn't really watch it. Just tell me what you think. Guys, I am going to start watching TNA. I promise. We're going to be working on that. The reason why I have these glasses on because I just...
Yeah, you're tired. You're tired. I get it, dude. I didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday
didn't
either, but
either.
I got my energy drink, so I'm good. So
You
my
do have coffee here, don't
I wait, somewhere. I don't know. I don't drink coffee. The only person in this house drinks coffee is my mother, unless Sunny.
you? Yeah.
Okay, then Sunny drinks coffee. All right. So never mind that. So my point is, the way I see it, they drink coffee. I don't. So I don't know where the coffee is. You have to ask him. But the point is, the way I saw the Monsters Ball, I thought it was great. You know, I thought I'm noticing Decay is retaining the tag belts. I don't know what they're gonna do with the belts. Like I said, Decay and the Bromance, as far as I know, are really the only tag teams left in TNA. I mean, with Davey, because Davey Richards came back from his injury, so the Wolves are now back together. And now that Eddie Edwards is no longer the X Division champion, he and Davey Richards can now go back to becoming potentially the tag team champions.
And I love the Wolves. I did.
I do
They're
too.
Awesome.
And like Frank said before, if the Hardys ever get back together again, they can go for the titles. Now, what's interesting about the Hardys is I found out, even though they're enemies in TNA, they do occasionally team up on the indies. Because people in TNA, they still work indie gigs because they can legally do that. Plus, they generate a lot of revenue out there.
Oh god, yeah, the Hardy Boys. Team of
Yeah.
Strength.
So they'll still tag together in independent shows. And Abyss still wears his mask when he does indie shows.
Really?
Yes. A friend told me that who does indie work. He said that Abyss wears his mask when he does solo appearances in the indies, but when he's on TV, he wears the face paint like Decay.
Okay.
Unless there was an indie show where he was booked with Crazy Steve as Decay, then he would have the face painted. But when he's doing solo shows by himself, he's the Monster Abyss. Because he knows that that's separate from what he's doing on TNA. Like sometimes they're a heel on TV, but they'll be a baby face in the indie circuit. You know, so the gimmicks vary from time to time depending on what company they're in. But you know they've held and they can hold championships in some of those companies. I
You
think
ever see a bitch going to the WWE? You think you just stay with the same?
he was offered a chance to go to WWE, turned it down. WWE offered him a contract, and at one point they wanted him to work with The Undertaker, but he declined. He turned it down.
Abyss to me in TNA is the Kane of TNA.
Yes,
He's awesome. I
He
love
is.
him.
they were, but yeah, and he turned down. He turned now. Not that I said he would never go to WWE because you never say never in the wrestling business, but he did turn it down. He was offered to go to WWE, but he turned it down because he was having a great run in TNA and didn't want to take the risk. And that's the thing that a lot of them have. A lot of them just don't trust how they would be used because they saw how the WCW guys got treated when Vince bought them out. So that's put a bad stain on the company. It's because of Triple H, ironically, that people even feel comfortable signing with them because they know Triple H does a lot of good in NXT.
He does.
So that's why most people go to NXT. They trust Triple H. And then if they do good enough there, they go to the main roster where hopefully Vince will trust the judgment. And some people are saying that Stephanie and Shane are legitimately choosing and booking and working on their shows. And that Vince might consult a little bit because Vince is going to have the final say on anything. That's not NXT. Triple H is the final say in NXT, but on the main roster, it's going to be Vince's call. But Stephanie and Shane get a lot more leeway, I think. So, or at least they should, if you want them to compete for real. But what's great about it was, you know, like I said, it was hardcore and it was great action. Now, how did you feel about Galloway and the Miracle?
I wanted Galloway to win. I like Galloway. He's a Scotsman. That's apart from that. He's a great wrestler. He's getting the push that he deserves in TNA. Will he eventually get the title back? Yes, he will. I only watched the last minute clip on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you know, I personally, you know, didn't like, I guess the Miracle. I assume the Miracle is going to win the whole thing at this point. I think Moose is going to help him win. He's going to go to Bound for Glory, and he's going to beat Lashley for the title. I think they want to make Mike Bennett the champion. And I like the fact that they're doing it this way because I didn't have objections to Mike Bennett being TNA World Champion. What I had an objection with was him cashing in the X Division title. I hate that. That's why I'm glad they did a title for title between Eddie Edwards and Bobby Lashley. Because here's the thing. The option C I had an issue with is because this is why. I'll tell you exactly why. We see the X Division stars bust their ass every week. Going for that championship. Trying to be the X Division champion. Carry the X Division for an entire year. And then a big star like Mike Bennett or something will come in and win the X Division title, having never wrestled an X Division match the whole freaking year, just to cash in and win the world title. To me, it's a big fuck you to the X Division. It's a fuck you to the X Division to do that. I hate it when Austin Aries did that. I liked it the first time he did it, but when they started making option C revolve around Austin Aries and only Austin Aries, I got pissed after a while. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. You're helping no one with this. That's why, like, when Austin Aries wanted to leave TNA because he felt like they were putting a glass ceiling on him, it's like, fuck you. Just like when CM Punk was like, I was so mistreated by WWE. Suck a cock. They were. You got more than half the people
you got
do.
more than he
If
got.
anybody has a right to say fuck you to the WWE, it's Zack Ryder. And Cody Rhodes. Maybe Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes. I'll give it to Cody Rhodes. Sandow don't have shit to complain about, but that's just me. But I'm not going to get into that today. But anyway, we'll save that for another show that we do together. But anyway, my point is, I like the Miracle getting the title this way.
Yeah.
I like it this way. But at the same time, I felt that Drew Galloway and EC3, like I honestly thought it was going to be Drew Galloway because they're talking about putting an end to their rivalry. We now know that it's going to happen. Here's what I predict is going to happen. The Miracle's going to win against EC. Either one or two things is going to happen. And I think Drew Galloway is going to screw EC3 next week. Drew Galloway is going to intentionally attack EC3, interfere, and help the Miracle win. Not because he wants to join the Miracle, but because of all this inadvertent shit that EC3's been doing. And it's going to build to a match at Bound for Glory. I don't know what kind of match it's going to be. I hope it's like a no-holds-barred kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not unsanctioned, but a no-holds-barred, where no one's holding them back, because that's what happened at Slammiversary, which ended up being a waste of time. But put them in a position where they legitimately have to kill each other to win. Like, if it was in Texas, I would have them do a Texas death match, like they did between EC3 and Bully Ray. Because EC3 said, you're putting Dixie Carter through a table over my dead body. And he said, over your dead body. Did I hear you correctly? Yeah, he goes, and then he started doing that again. He goes, well, in that case, I'd like to do it over your dead body. Let's have a Texas death match, which is fucking insane kind of match. So I think that would work if they were going to do it, if it was in Texas, but no. I say make it no holds barred. Give them a no holds barred match. Let them use weapons. Let them just kill each other, and then have one man left standing at Bound for Glory. Make that happen. That's what I would do. But I think Drew Galloway should cost EC3 the match with the Miracle. The Miracle pins EC3 again, just like he did when he beat EC3. But this time, instead of having it be done like $1 million dream and EC3 counters and doesn't let, and Mike Bennett counters and doesn't let go, like the way they because that's how they did it the first time. Let it be a legit hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Bennett beats EC3 again. So now EC3 has 2 losses on his belt. 2 pinfall losses under his belt. Both by the Miracle. Fucks with EC3's head. Makes him even angrier. Now I want blood from Drew Galloway. So that, to me, and you set the stage to Bound for Glory. Don't do it in August. Don't do it in September. Let it build. Let it build and build and build every week. And then at Bound for Glory, put the kibosh on that.
Anyways, guys, yes, I am officially 30 years old.
Yes. We'll be taking this man to the strip club and maybe more. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, that will officially wrap up this episode of the Boochcast for today. I want to thank everybody so much that tuned in live. I want to thank everybody listening to the archive. Zach, thanks so much, man, for coming on the show today, man.
Of course.
Joining me here. We're having a blast. We're gonna party on your 30th. We're gonna make it the
Yeah,
best of
I
it.
know I don't look 30, guys, but I actually am.
He definitely doesn't dress it. I've been wanting to say that all day. I held it until then. But
Go
hey,
suck a fucking meatball.
hey, I'm not exactly dressed like a mature man myself. I'm just messing around. So I that kind of a, is it just me or is this kind of a Fred Durst look he's got going right now?
On that,
Keep rolling. All right. But anyway, on a seriousness, I just want to say, before we go, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Booch 316. That's the name of the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you can check out today's episode as well as past episodes of the Boochcast. You can also check out my other videos. You can see my performances at the Atlanta Comedy Theater, the Punchline, and you can also see me at the Comedy Catch in Chattanooga, Tennessee. My performance at McCurdy's is coming at a later date. Also, you can check out my one-man show, Marta Mia, that I did at Georgia State. That's on there, too. Of course, my appearance at Pro Wrestling School is there. And you can see a little skit between myself and Jerry Truman where we were Barack Obama and Joe Biden playing a rousing game of poker. All those videos are on there. Make sure you check them out. And until next time, this is Vinny and Zach saying keep on living life and take care. This has been the Boochcast. I'll be back on Monday where we'll be having a variety of great discussions. I'll be joined by Gator Ricky Ross. Check us out Monday on the Boochcast. Until then, pizza, baby.